There's this on socials, yeah? Americans are only just finding out that they're black Scottish people.
Oh, God.
And it's just very funny because they're like, yo, what do you do? How do you speak? What's your slang? What do you eat? What's your hobbies? All that stuff.
Scottish people in the comments are worse than the black Scottish people because they're going, how can you be so stupid to not know that there's black Scottish people? But Americans live in like an echo chamber. Whether the global media, inadvertently or not, decides to keep you guys from seeing us, like, you're not seeing content made by black Scottish people. You're not seeing content made by white Scottish people. So the surprise when you see people that look like you with an accent like mine, that would blow my mind anyway.
Well, I think also it's also indicative of just how much entertainment influences our stereotypical beliefs. Like, because if you told me that a Scottish person, I would never in a million years. Like, if you said a black Brit, that's not a surprise. We've seen enough of them.
We got Dave, we got Skepta, we got everybody out there.
Yeah, so it starts there, right? And then if you said Scottish, I'm just, all right, that's white. And then Irish is drunk white who fight.
The Scots drink just as much as the Irish. We fight a little less.
Yeah.
How many of you, do you know any Scots? I know a few of the Scot, and that's it. That's the only black Scot I know.
I know a couple.
Do you know a couple?
Yeah.
How long have you known them?
For a few years.
Where do they come from? Scotland?
From Scotland. And I think that, you know, sometimes I feel like we are that insular as well in London.
Yeah, we are. That's why
suddenly we were like, oh, there are black Irish people because of, you know, Love Island and things like that.
Yeah.
But there are people who have obviously known before. But they're out here, black Welsh people, black Scottish people, of course.
So you know black Scots? Do you know any black Welsh?
Yeah. But remember what I do as well in terms of like with the podcast and the tarot. So I come across a lot of people. Yeah.
Fair enough. No. Any black Scots?
Afia the Scot?
Do you know any black Irish?
No.
Any black Welsh?
No.
Any? That's it, innit?
Yeah, I don't know any.
That's it.
Yeah.
So we can't really cast the Americans because we ourselves, especially Londoners, we're so dead.
No, but I know that there's black people there.
No, we know, but do you actually know about their nuances, their lifestyles? We laugh at people from Birmingham and Manchester. I mean,
Shirley Bassey.
Do you know her?
Oh, of course not.
Exactly. Like, look at you, Auntie, Shirley Bassey.
But either way, we know that they exist.
Yeah.
But do we know their lifestyle?
But we don't have to. Like, I don't know what everybody else is doing. I don't know what black people are doing in Northwest London.
I must. To be fair,
but it's so true. Like,
what do you not do? But that's the thing, because even when I was doing the slide through on the Instagram post that I saw, when they were, I was like, the girls like your hairstyles are the same. You're talking, but one girl said that she liked haggis, which I wasn't impressed.
Haggis is all right.
Wait, what?
Just have a little. It's a bit spicy.
I have tried haggis.
Did you like it?
No. But I ate it though. You should try it.
No, I should not.
You should try everything that is out there.
No, I don't have to.
I don't have to, but it's good too.
I shan't. But anyway, I just want to know where you are, Irish, Welsh and Scottish aunties fans. What do you do? Do you comb your hair? Do you
imagine? Let them go. Come and drag her. Come and drag this woman, this auntie.
Do you have barbers? All that stuff.
Of course,
I'm joking. But it's just like, it's actually what the culturalisms are. That I'm intrigued to know.
No, but they're funny
any different to over here?
No. Well, they could. They're gonna have. I'm talking about the nuances.
Okay.
But that's when borough to borough we have nuances.
That's what I'm saying. We have nuances. It's like even from north, south, west, we always like, yeah, what do you look? You look funny people down south, funny people in west, or whatever. There's all those
funny
isms.
people in
Someone said that they've got their phone. My friend sent me a screenshot from Twitter because I'm not on there, right? And he sent me a screenshot from Twitter where somebody said that they got their phone stolen in Peckham. They said, I can't believe I got my phone stolen in South, because we know that South phones, we don't jack phones like that in South.
Really?
Right? No, we don't.
Okay, what's
and so he got his phone stolen. This person that tweeted had their phone stolen in South, and then I think somebody asked where or whatever, and he said Peckham. And my friend sent it to me, and I said, close the borders because somebody snuck in from East London.
Out of order. That's a central London thing.
No, like, central London and East. But then obviously, if you think about it, from Oxford Street, Holborn, going into because Old Street, that is the hot spot. Yeah. Old Street is horrible.
But that is Islington. So Islington has a phone problem. Like it's known. You're around there, they're gonna steal your phone. But I thought that South was like that. No, South I wouldn't. When I'm in South London, I don't have my phone out.
No, people rob trainers.
How are you taking somebody's that's
inside.
gross.
I don't believe
What,
that.
like, get out of your trainers? Like, what the hell?
South is a utopia for drug addicts.
Yeah, it's more drugs, like not phones.
That's why I thought they would take your phone.
No. Like, it used to be lashing text. What is text? The Rolexes or whatever.
Yeah.
Kettles
Yeah,
and
they
text.
still do that. Handbags. Yeah.
Because it depends on what the area values, isn't it?
Oh, you're saying it like you know.
I
mean, the biggest crime in West is Grenfell. So
there is that.
you RBKC, you lot, the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea, may you never know peace.
May you never know peace. That's the real criminals
Right.
out here.
But North, I don't know what anybody's doing, right? I went, where did I go? Was it Wood Green?
Wood Green's Wild Wild West. It shouldn't like that.
What is that? What is it? What is
like Halston.
Gangland?
Exactly.
Wood Green is like Halston.
My friend's
it's the
dating
place
somebody.
where everybody has just left.
Yeah.
They don't know, okay.
My friend's dating somebody, and they're both from Northwest. North Wheezy, apparently.
Yes.
They're dating, and I'm having a conversation with her, and she goes, "You're so nice. I can't believe you're from South."
That's so weird.
It took everything in me not to fire back, because I thought it's only because you're dating my friend. It's only because you're dating my friend, because I'll tell you about yourself. Just because you lot have people that can thread your eyebrows, calm down, like behave. Relax.
I mean, I don't understand, because I'm from South and I'm from West. I don't understand why.
Wow.
Because I'm half and half. I was born in
Mixed barrage.
I was actually. I'm mixed. I always say mixed race. I'm half South, half West. I was born actually in West a little bit, and then we moved to South when I was a bubba.
Yeah.
And then when I was about 20, I moved to West.
You did say out of choice you decided to
Move to West.
betray us.
Well, to be fair, I felt a lot more at home in West. I don't know what that
Really?
means.
Yeah, because it's nicer.
What's nice there?
No,
It looks nicer.
Does
it's
it?
cleaner.
Just not
There
Westfield,
are
that's all.
places in West that are foul. I claim no ends. I just say I'm from both, because this postcode wars in adults is wild and problematic. So when we needed Auntie Farah here, because Farah will like, West till I die.
I know.
Yeah,
really
that's
is.
where the balance is. But for me, it's Southwood. But I'm a liar, man. At the end of the day, if somebody gave me a house tomorrow, 1 4-bedroom house in West,
You're gonna take it.
I'll be singing in the rain.
But
Don't get
however,
it
there are
twisted.
places-
And you'd love it as well.
I have South limitations like Fulham and Chelsea. I shan't live anywhere else in South.
Yeah,
Maybe Wimbledon.
I would
So you
there.
live Southwest.
Yeah.
To be fair, I grew up in Southwest. I grew up in Tooting College.
Yeah, so those are the places you named.
Hang on, where does South East go to? I'd live in Dulwich. That's South East, yeah?
Yeah.
I would live in Dulwich.
But it doesn't
I
have a
like
tube.
I love Dulwich.
Dulwich
Like,
is
I want to live in. I've always wanted to live in Dulwich Village. I'm glad it doesn't have a tube.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone
It
walking
feels
through.
like
let it
a
be an
village when you're
experience.
there. Like,
Yeah.
Lovely.
Let it be an
let's
experience. The
have
whole
a big
reason.
range.
Yeah.
But I just don't have those facilities, so I need a tube station.
You just learn how to drive.
I want to get those little Suzuki. Those cute little
yes.
ones that have come out. They're like 4x4s, just
Yeah,
these cute
yeah.
little Suzuki
I don't
cars.
like cars.
I have a last minute that I just
happened?
sorry. I saw it and I was like, I have to discuss this with you guys. Mama Dinya did a PSA or an asking for advice. She said, and I've never heard of this, a parasocial
Yeah, parasocial relationships. Yeah,
I've never heard of this shit before.
yeah. It's a thing. It's a major thing.
I was thinking you probably have experienced this.
many times.
What is it? Explain it for them.
So a parasocial
please.
relationship is what you see when it's Stans, the hive, the barbs.
Yeah.
Those are parasocial relationships. When
okay.
somebody is watching you, they don't have any actual immediate access to you, but they believe that you have a relationship together.
I know about parasocial relationships, but I need to give you guys this scenario that just happened to me, and you tell me whether this is even more than a parasocial relationship. So I'm speaking to my friend, and let's say my friend does nails, yeah? So she's doing nails for my friend, and she's like, oh, your friend's a weird one, by the way. Bear in mind, the girl that does my nails, we're friends as well. And I was like, who's my friend and why is she weird? And she was like, no, Liz, don't even take offense to it, but this one, she's a weird one. And I'm like, who? She's like, let's say the person's called Chef Sarah. She's like, oh, Chef Sarah. And I was like, who the hell is that? And she's like, Chef Sarah, your friend. And I was like, who the hell is Chef Sarah? That's what I actually want to know. And she's like, shut up, Liz, don't play with me. I was like, show me the picture. So she shows me the picture of Chef Sarah. And I was like, yeah, who the hell is that? And my friend's literally like, huh? And I'm like, what? Why are you like? She's starting to scare me. And then she says to me, Chef Sarah, your friend, that you guys went to so and so school together. And I'm like, how do you know that's my school? She's like, Chef Sarah told me. I was like, I don't know who this person is. And what? And I was like, what did she say about me? She said, you guys grew up together. How you guys are going out for dinner this week because she's going somewhere soon and you guys want to meet up for dinner. And I'm like, huh? Who is that? It's so scary. And she's like, and she was like, Liz, she called you Liz. And everyone that knows me knows this. My close friends that call me Liz. She called me Liz. So should I be worried? Should I be worried? Liz, dinner. We grew up to...
I have it often when people come up to me in the street and straight away hug me, because to them we're friends. I've never met them before in my life, but to them they think they know me so well because they see me every day online. But so they feel like they can come into my space, forgetting that we're two strangers. You wouldn't do that to another person that you've never, to another stranger. But you feel like you could do it to me because you've seen me.
But have you ever had somebody telling somebody else that they are your friend gonna go to dinner with you? Like a whole relationship.
That is an extreme type of parasocial relationship, because that essentially is then moving on to stalking, or it's just moving on to a form of psychosis, to be honest.
Yeah.
But a parasocial dynamic really is when people believe that they have this relationship with you, this deep relationship with you, even though you don't know them, but they have watched you so much online or wherever that they believe that that's, you've got that dynamic. Like it can happen with your podcast. When I stopped Say Your Mind or whatever, there were people that were messaging or emailing and they said, well, what am I meant to do with my life now? Like what happens now? Not even in a dramatic way. They were genuinely asking, what now? Because when I was depressed, this is what I was listening to. When my Mondays made sense because this was there, and now it's gone. I'm scared about what my whole kind of week falls apart. And then you worry for them because it's just like, but that isn't on me. I have to do me.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like when people go and slap someone on the street because you did bad in EastEnders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are parasocial dynamics.
Okay.
So it's a para bit that threw me. I thought of the paranormal.
Yeah, I've
but that's what
never
you are
heard
meant
of
to
the
think of. It is that. It is something that is it doesn't straddle reality.
Right.
Right. Okay. Yes. Because they are in another.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know what? I'm so used to it. What am I used to? I mean, I didn't find it so strange, but I thought it was paranormal. So I was like, what do you mean? Are you creating a fictional because you're seeing ghosts or whatever?
No. There's so much. There's extensive research about it. And I think because we have been kind of socialized in the past few years, since the noughties really, to be hyper voyeuristic. Yeah. So many reality TV shows. Now you have access to, you want even more reality. That becomes, that your brain has adapted. So even that reality TV, that scripted television as it were, or unscripted, is not enough anymore. You now want people. Yeah. Right?
Basically why we want streamers.
Yeah.
And you want to see people vlogging all the time. You want to see
put
what
camera
their
in your
day
house
is.
24 hours a day just so I can watch you. Right?
So what's the transaction there? Because actually then we who are giving out so much, we talk about our lives in different ways on the pod. So we're giving ourselves. So essentially we're also feeding it, maybe obviously not intentionally, but now there's this phenomenon.
No, but it is intentional because it's relatability, and this is what's important about it, to be able to be aware of it and create the boundaries for how we are relating, which is why on Insta stories sometimes, or even on the podcast before, I would say I'm friendly but I'm not your friend, because otherwise people get very over familiar, and it's because I'm so hyper aware of parasocial relationships that I don't post my son online, because it's one thing you coming up to me, I don't know you from anywhere, and you're hugging me. But because I've posted my son online, you go to hug him, I'll take your throat out your neck. Yeah. So I'm aware of what can happen to people's brains the more that they see you.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's good to just I had not thought about it. And I saw it and I stood watching like with my mouth open, like that would freak me the hell out, that somebody is talking to somebody else that knows me, like they are my friend and I don't know who the hell they are.
Yeah, no, a lot of people do it. A lot of people do it. I've had people say to me, like when I go on my runs, and sometimes I bump into people when I'm out on my runs, and some people have said, I walk up and down here waiting to see you. I just knew I'd see you one day if I just came. And I change my routes frequently, but I do have like a standard number of routes that I take. Yeah. So they were like, yeah, I just walk and I wait to see you. And the thing is, we know that there's a transaction there, right? Because when we're making this content, when we're doing what we're doing, we are hoping at some point, yes, it's a passion to have monetary outcome from it. And so essentially that relies on them investing in you with their time. And you also have to think of the psychology of where they are watching you, because most people will be watching you in their home. So essentially you are in their home. So you're now their friend.
What happens with like EastEnders? That's my reference when I can't remember which character. I mean, it happens all the time. Or Dynasty, whatever the case. From way back when, there's always been a thing, oh, people see me, they hate me because my character's a evil, dastardly bastard. And so like, why did you do that to so-and-so?
And and it's interesting that you chose specifically a soap opera because of the frequency of it, right? Not a movie, because a movie you could play another role. I mean, even if we kind of have you in that mindset, we can change it. Sometimes. But when it's some
evil, dastardly bastards, I still don't like. You know, when they're a villain, they break someone's heart.
But then imagine you're seeing them week in, week out.
Yeah, then they become part of your furniture. And like, you're really Max Branning or whatever.
Exactly. Dirty Dan.
Oh,
or even just on the pod, when people have agreed with you and then you have another opinion and they are literally like, why would you say that? And it's like, it's my opinion.
Yeah.
But I get it. You've agreed with me for so long.
Yeah.
You think you're going to know, but then I do a curveball and it's a bit like, that was horrible. And it's
Yeah,
but I can be an arsehole
I'm a
sometimes,
person.
So disclaimer. Not your friends.
But I mean, it's a bit difficult for you because your title is your aunties.
We're your aunties.
Yeah.
We represent that figure.
Yes.
But it is what it is. It's too late now. We're there.
I know, but these are the things that we shouldn't be thinking about.
Because when we were out, we did get people coming up to say, "Oh, thank you." Like we listened to you, and especially young guys as well, which was really
that was surprising.
That was really surprising, and I think one of them hugged me, and the way he hugged me, I thought, "Oh, do I know you?"
Yeah.
Because
he came straight over to you.
And because of the work that I do, and I see so many people, and I am getting to very old, because someone else was speaking to me for very long. It happens a lot, and I'm just like, I'm engaging because I just don't know who I'm talking to. And I know it's too far gone that I can't say, I don't know who you are. And I know sometimes the way the conversation is actually, if it's like me seeing you tomorrow, and I'm just like,
that's what I do a lot.
And I know I should know you. And sometimes it is like, I know, it's just because I've got perimenopause. So I might be like, oh, it's Kelechi. That can happen. That could actually happen.
Yeah.
But this guy hugged me and I was like, wow. But we're in there.
Yeah, people, so parasocial things, parasocial relationships are a thing. This is why you have to be careful with like all of the things that you show online. Like I'm very careful about how I post my routes, and if I'm driving and I'm making a video, obviously it's on a stable object before anybody asks. Yeah. I watch my windows as well, like what you can see through the window, because people will really screenshot and
zoom in.
Also, let's talk about the people that do the most.
Yes.
Like, guys, seek help. Don't be waiting on people's routes. That's wild.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Like, literally, don't do that.
Yeah. Like, live.
Like, there's a level of, okay, super stan watching. Okay, the most stanny thing I've done. What is the most stunning thing you've done? My most stunning thing I've done is me and a friend waited for Oprah. We waited and waited to see Oprah. It was Oprah. We waited and we waited and we saw her. And it was my actual birthday. She was here for the butler. And we waited down the side because we really wanted to see her. And then she came out of the car and we were like, hi. Aww. And that was my super stan moment. But
I've not done you know how I am. There isn't anybody.
I don't like
it would
anybody.
have been Oprah, but it's absolutely not her anymore.
It wouldn't be.
Yeah. Well, that was then.
That was exactly. But so there's no one. I think that there are some people who are predisposed to behaving in that way.
Yeah.
There's nobody that I like enough. Yeah, and I don't even I only ever see people as humans. So all of these celebrities, to me, they're humans. So that means that I can critique them I could critique them just normally, like I would anyone or anything else. Whereas I think there are people who are predisposed to fawning over anything and everything. They're looking for somebody to worship, and I don't care for that. So I don't think celebrity works on me, because there's nobody that I see that I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't care. I respect them, like what you've done, cool.
No, I hear that.
But I can't do all of that.
I think that I even think before we properly knew, well, definitely for me, who you were, I heard other people talking about you and was like, oh, who's this girl? Watched your stuff and was like, oh, yeah, no, she's on point. But the commentary was like the second coming. Like, honestly, like, Natalie, you've got to watch Kelechi stuff. And it's like, all right.
Right?
Chill. Like, you know, she shits like the rest of us.
Literally.
But I always feel like that must be a bit weird when they kind of come to you. Like,
yeah, but I think that through the years, it's for me, reminding people that whatever you're seeing in me is in you. So I did a reading for somebody, tarot reading for somebody the other day, and it was so interesting to me. I've had it happen other times before, but this particular time, so she's booked this one-to-one reading. And as we're doing the reading, she says, I've got to tell you something. You know, I stopped listening to the podcast a while back for, she mentioned the reasons why. And, you know, because some of the subjects were heavy and it was bringing up something in me. And I have to admit, I was scared. I was scared of you because it's like you were so sure of yourself and it really was doing something to me inside that I didn't quite know how to explain. And so I had to like step back. And I thought that, and that's so interesting because then you had to come back, right? And then book a reading, like pay to then have my time because I don't have the public, well, I'm not making any more public episodes for Say Your Mind anyway, anymore. So she had to find me to come back because there was still something she needed to reconcile in herself. And I said to her, and she said, the reason I bring it up is because I can feel it again. I can feel it. I know I'm ready this time, but I can feel it again, that feeling of like, how is she so herself and I don't know who I am?
Do you know what? In a similar vein, we say that our favourite podcast is The Read. I love The Read, and I've watched Kid Free from when he was on YouTube.
Yes.
And so I have that affinity to this young man that I do not know. Yeah. Absolutely adore, and I've grown to adore Crystal as well since she joined. Yeah. But then when he was going through his darkest moments, and there was a run where the pod was just around his darkest moments, I had to withdraw. Yeah. Because I'm like, I had conflict with withdrawing because I felt selfish. Because how can I withdraw from him when he needs
the support the most?
Needs the support the most. But at the same time, it's like I can't hear someone that I'm a fan of. Cause basically, I'm just a fan of going through this pain. And also, I want the pod that I want the read that I'm used to.
Exactly.
I want the pod that I
go back to being you. Yeah.
And this is what I come for my bits and bobs. I might to hear him laughing and cussing and him, Crystal laughing. But if I'm not getting that and I'm getting the real deal, like this is what you're going through. And also not understanding people with depression. Because there's different levels of depression. I have my own version of depression, but not diagnosed and not, you know, like, but the level of depression is like, why do you not recognize how amazing you are?
Yeah.
How can you go through those moments? You are you.
I just want to fix you. I just want to help.
You. Why doesn't it not work? And so I know I withdrew from the pod. Yeah. And it's changed my pattern. So I go, where I was like religious, the minute it drops, I'm listening.
Oh, yeah, same.
Now I'm like, I'm batch listening. Yeah. Because I had to, and it's changed my pattern. Yeah. And that's what kind of happens.
How do you have I'm just thinking, like, obviously I've spoken about it before. I did have ideations of being a cult leader when I was younger. So, like, how do you not collect a congregation? What is it within you that was just like, you know, when people are being a bit sycophantic, I'm going to help you with everything. I'm going to Yeah. How do you just keep your distance as to, it's okay, I can do this by myself?
Because it's violent, you know. It's violent. I can't remember. There's a poet that she described it, and she was just like, fan worship, celebrity worship is harmful to the worshipper as well as the worship.
Absolutely.
Right. And so if you allow that in, you're harming yourself essentially, because you will never get to be a person again. And so people will not be able to help it. The moment you let them put you on a pedestal, let them see you a particular way, you have given away your humanity, because now you are an object. Right. And so for me, it's rather selfish. You can't do that because I still want to be me. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I don't want to give up being me to be whoever I'm meant to be to you. I'm not doing that. Whereas other people are happy to do it for the sake of, oh, well, I get money in return. And, you know, I find, with all due respect, I find the relationship, for instance, with somebody like Beyonce really interesting, because she hardly interacts with the fans. Yeah. And yet they are so devoted.
Yeah.
And I think maybe a few people have studied it, but I think it should be studied more, what that dynamic is. And so she could drop something and they've managed to find all the Easter eggs. They've managed to find all of the clues, maybe the ones she intended and didn't intend. They find all of these things. And I wonder, do they leave space for her to disappoint them? To just be human?
Because they'll either glaze over and it's all right, and because the vim that they'd have for somebody else, they don't have for her.
Yeah.
Or then they're like absolutely heartbroken.
Yeah. And that's why it's
She
dangerous.
shows nothing. Maybe that's probably why. Like,
Because they
we
can
don't-
project onto her, and that's my thing. They could project onto her, but if she wanted to come out tomorrow and sing Teletubbies, they would be like, there'll be some who'll be like, yes, amazing. And there'll be others who'll be like, what the hell? Right? And
But then, because when she tried to navigate conversation, especially during when it was women's rights and feminism, she got dragged for it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Because,
people
like,
were
like,
talking about her handwriting and everything, and being like, "Yeah, she must be illiterate." It's like, what are you talking about?
She got dragged. So she keeps
Yeah,
silent on purpose. And that was, I think, from her day, that time when she was interviewed by Oprah. And Oprah was like, keep your shit to yourself. She kept that word bond.
Yeah.
100%. I was laughing because even though what you're saying is very true about cult leaders, you're too selfish to be a cult leader. You're like, get off me.
You know this. You know why it didn't work.
Like 2 minutes, like, no. She'd be like, oh my God, leave me alone.
Why are you calling me?
but that's what they love. You actually just don't have to interact.
And literally,
the kind
you
of
could
people
literally do your festivals and just be like, and then that'll be it. You don't have to do much.
They'll be like, she spoke to us.
Yeah. You could actually do it. It would
But
be
it's
hilarious.
the demands. It's people demand anything from me. It's literally.
She'll be so mad. And on that note, welcome to Your Aunties Could Never. I'm Auntie AK, aka Kizzle, aka the auntie of all the aunties. And I'm here with
I am Nana, aka the Black Fairy, aka Dark and Lovely.
our Caribbean queen is actually back in the country.
Yes.
However, she's gone off somewhere else. She's got work to do. She had to come back and do work. You know how Auntie Farah is. You know how she stays. But she will be back next week. We promise.
Yes.
But in the meantime, we are joined by the baby girl of all baby girls, the woman who doesn't take no prisoners. She tells it like it is. Our big favourite sis, Miss Kelechi.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Glad to be back. This is so great.
We love you. We love
Thank
having
you.
You're you and Audrey
Aw.
and Z have been on multiples.
Yes,
and we
yes.
love you guys.
So Nikki.
And
Oh,
that's
yeah. That's
like
my
our
babe.
extended
that's our
tribe.
And our family.
The gals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, the gal them. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm just out here. I got back from Grenada, last week. I'm still recovering from that. It was a lot because it was a press trip. So there was so much to do on the itinerary. But yeah, I'm glad to be back, and it's like straight into book festivals and things like that. But other than that, and it's the summer holidays. As a mum,
It's a lot.
it's a lot.
How you lot coping? Because I got a 25-year-old, just saying.
Yeah, today was a lot. It's a lot of clubs, and I'm bored, and I've got to go here. It's a lot. I want them back at school.
Right? Like my son will wake up and he's like, what are we doing today?
Oh.
Those words, the way that they grab at my heart. Like, please wait, let me figure something out. I'm just a personal chauffeur at this point.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
she was up early. I was like, why are you outside?
Yeah,
yeah, got to
two
take
drops.
them places.
Westminster and then Peckham. And then I had to stay in Peckham because it's Peckham and we're like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got to make it work for me though. I'm like, you have to start coming out running with me or something because all of this, it's not working for me. So if I need to go to the running track in the morning, I'm like, let's go. You come and sit on the side and do your thing because I've still got to do my things, you know. Or if I'm going Muay Thai, he sits on the side
It is
and
what it
stuff
is.
because
It's important.
They've got to
anyway.
be your handbags.
Yes.
right.
Emma was my handbag. This morning, my version of, I mean, it's not a problem. I got up and because the mirrors, the full length is in her room. So I went and put on my trousers. I said, do these look good? She was like, what? She has night duty tonight. So she was really angry with me.
Yeah.
And I spoke to her a lot. Sometimes I have to be mindful, but I'm just like, no, but I just want to talk to her. Why did you have to come in my room so loudly? I'm like, but I didn't. Your door is creaky. And she's like, Mum. And because she is battling being so polite,
Yeah.
but also she's 25 and she also really wants to say, get the fuck
Okay,
out of my
yeah.
room. Because because I'm your mum and I will bury you and we are best friends. And you've got to respect me. So I really pushed it because normally I'm very mindful, but I was like, no, look at my trousers. Do they look good? No, they don't. Actually, they're okay. Can you get me a top? No, I don't want to get you a top. And I spoke to her a lot.
Okay.
And she wasn't happy.
That's mean. But yes.
It was fun.
Just quick, do you have a copy of the book? Just
No.
wanna assess it.
Look at my life.
Book?
It's in my boot.
Why is it in your book? I've read your shorts.
Yeah, Edge of Here. Yeah.
I've read that and I love that.
Thank you.
Like, genuinely.
Thank you.
Obviously, because you're here, I'm going to say I love it. But I genuinely do love it. Like, you're a phenomenal writer.
Thank you.
And I've been so caught up because I would have bought your book first. And I haven't yet bought your book, your new one. Can you talk about it?
Awakened. So yeah, it's about Pels. She's a journalist and she's researching young black people going missing and being found by bodies of water. But her editor doesn't want her to look into it because he's just like, go and cover hip hop and booty shaking and that stuff. But she wants to cover that. So instead he gives her an assignment to go to the Republic of Benin and cover the protests that are happening there because the local people are upset that these resorts are being built by non-Beninese people in the spiritual retreats are being built there using their sacred spirit vine where you drink it, you hallucinate and have this spiritual experience. They're essentially, it's neo-colonialism. They're taking their things. Yeah. So they're a protest there. And he says, go and look into why they're so angry. Go and do that instead and take part in the retreat while you're there to really understand. So that's what she's sent off to do. And in doing that, drinking the spirit vine, she realizes she's got special powers. And they are meant to help her find.
I'm going to love this. I'm going to love this.
Because you're a phenomenal writer. I have to. I'm pissed because I like to be a know-it-all. I'm like, I read it.
I know we needed to like properly have it all.
Yeah.
Is there audio?
Yeah. Spotify, all of the places. Audible, all of them.
I swear I saw you said you were writing again.
Yeah, I had to hand in a manuscript for another novel for a younger audience.
Yes, for me.
I
love it.
But yeah, that one, that's going to be a while yet. But yeah, I had to hand that in and I have to start writing the part 2 to Awakened.
Okay.
So this one has just come out.
But also then, remember we were going to film Edge of Here.
Where's the production company?
Okay, fine.
Where's the money?
We'll figure it out. No, we'll figure it out.
Let them come quick.
We'll figure it out.
Michael B. Jordan, come and invest. Ryan Coogler, come. There's a short story collection that you will love.
Yes.
Ryan would be great. Come on, somebody needs to sort this out.
So whenever I see him, I'm like, there is only one person I feel like would get what's happening. It's him. He would get it. From Sinners to even Wakanda Forever. I'm like, you will absolutely love this, bro.
Yes. Yeah, we'll get it to him.
Let me read Edge of Here.
Yeah.
All right, it's going to happen.
All right, guys, it's time. Well, look, this is my intro. Last week we had Marvin Harrison on. And he spoke for all men, mankind. And he advised all the women on how to treat men. This week is going to be a woman pod. And today, men, it's time for you to listen to us women. We're going to share some insights and you must listen and you must take it back to your bros. Okay? This is not a counter to Marvin Harrison. This is what women think and this is how we feel about things. So listen with your ears. Thank you, please.
With your years.
Thank you. Your years and your years. And I say all of that to say, because the first topic isn't actually too much of that, but it is women's feelings. It's women's feelings about beauty, our feelings about beauty. So first up, it's not like an enemy of progress, but it kind of is. So Anthos Corner, she was on a pod and she recently spoke about her most traumatic experiences.
Black men have traumatized me the most.
Really?
Hands down. I've got a lot of insults, but if I was to categorize it this is going to sound very bad, I know, but I've got the most insults from black men, black women, than white people. I'm not even making this up.
Crazy.
I'm not even making this up. I've got the most insults I've received. That's the stats. The most insults I've received in my whole life of living is from black men and black women and white people.
So just give me in essence, like what do the black women or black men say and then white people, what do they say? Like, just sum it up.
Oh no, the black men and black women, they will come for my appearance, hands down. Anything in the book, on social media especially, anything that they can think of, they've probably said it to me or like on my social media page. Like one thing about, for some reason, they just feel comfortable saying it. Nobody is in a place to be making such remarks about anybody.
Absolutely.
Because even though you find me ugly, another guy can find me attractive, if that makes sense. So I just feel like, yeah, cool. I may be your standard to ugly black girls. Yeah, cool. That's your opinion. I can't take that away from you. But for you to now actively generalize it to the point where you feel comfortable saying it on the internet, me personally, I found that quite insane.
Yeah, can imagine.
And I guess, she's spoken about her experience of colorism. She's got eczema, and so it's disfigured her face and her skin. So she's had to battle that. She spoke about her times in uni when just out of the blue, someone made a random post to say that she is the poster of what's considered not pretty. All that stuff. But this girl's spirit is so damn buoyant and wonderful. And I don't want to be patronizing to say that spite or anything, but the fact that she does face so much vitriol and negativity, and she does still have such a positive spirit, I rate her for that, because I don't know how much I could handle. So I just want to get into the discussion, like, what's this discomfort? Why do black people have such this discomfort with people that go outside of our standards of beauty? Why are we so uncomfortable? Because she obviously makes people uncomfortable. There are people who make us uncomfortable when we don't fit the norms of society. Because again, for me, I think it's performative. Like, we don't fit those ideals. So then, get away, hide away, because we already have enough going on our plate. What do you think it is? It's
just, it's racism, essentially. It's internalized self-loathing, right? Where we enact the same violences that we are scared to experience onto other people. So we project it onto people that we deem to be less attractive than ourselves, especially as black people. Generally, people who are not conventionally or who aren't seen as conventionally attractive do face like a lot of vitriol. It's like they can be treated a particular way, but that's also linked to eugenics, as in the ideology that this group of people are superior, they're genetically superior, and therefore they should have all of the power because they are genetically superior. And capitalism, there is a particular image that is pushed because it serves eugenicist capitalistic ideology. The white blonde woman, that's what. But if you notice, the beauty ideals shift based on where the money is. So that now that we're seeing more money from the UAE and Saudi based on what's being done in the Congo and what's being done in Sudan and the amount of gold and things that they have accessible to them, the ideals of beauty are changing. We're going for darker hair, darker features, right? That's what's changing now. We're not, it's not really blonde anymore. If you actually look at what you're seeing, you'll see that there are less blondes, right? More people are going for the darker, more quote unquote Middle Eastern, although Middle Eastern is a fallacy, right? But they're going for that look because actually that's where the money is, because people at any given time are always trying to emulate the most powerful thing available. And before it was this idea. So then the more as a black person you align yourself to that, the better you are treated. I've had it. I've seen it happen myself a number of times. And I don't think I'm clapped, but I also know I'm not conventionally attractive, right? Even in terms of having an athletic build and how people read that, right, as masculine and how they think that they can treat you. I know for a fact that I would not have been treated the way that I have over the past few years on social media by black men specifically, because I agree with her. My order would be different, but I would still say black men would be the top.
So black men would be first?
Yeah, black men would be first, then white people,
right?
Then black women,
right? Because I think, you know what, it's interesting that you say that, because I think black men first and foremost, white people, but then because you're challenging their political ideals, but black women, we will empathise because we see your beauty
to a certain degree. Because if I really was going to be really cutthroat about it, I'd actually say there is no 1, 2, 3. It's just 1, 2. Because sometimes the kind of violence that I faced with black women in terms of just how they behave, and the way that because of patriarchy and the way that we are taught to prioritize men and to seek male validation, they will do things in order to support. Like, you see what these men are saying, you see how they're behaving, you know it's unfair, but because you want their approval, you're also going to behave, or either you're going to co-sign, or you're going to be a silent bystander, right?
I hear it.
Do you?
Why is it though that I don't? Because I'm listening to what you're saying, but the irritation that people seem to have that Amfo doesn't shut up, I find that fascinating. It's like she will do a video on anything, and you will have some people in there literally just telling her to shut up.
Because
why you here?
Yeah, because they don't find her attractive. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I was light skinned, all the things that I've been saying, if I was light skinned, if I was white, the work that I've put in over the past few years as Kelechi, I would be much further in terms of maybe even mainstream. No matter how controversial I am, I would be more mainstream because I'm fitting some kind of ideal that suits them. I'm fitting into the ideals of or the politics of desirability. And so the way that they see Amfo is that you don't fit any metric of desirability. So you are no better than an animal. So I can speak to you in that way. And actually, there are rights for animals.
But also, there's that. Also, what you said about before, when we were speaking before about parasocial relationships, that person that you mentioned that said they had to withdraw because you represented what they felt they didn't have in themselves. Seeing someone that is brave enough, and again, not to be patronising, but in someone's consideration that Anthos is brave to even speak, because if it was me, it could never be me.
Yeah.
You're challenging, why the fuck are you upset then? Because if this woman can go and stand up and you're at home complaining because you got a bunion out or a hair out of place, or you will dare not show your natural hair because whatever.
Or can't leave the house without makeup.
Exactly. All of that.
Yeah.
And someone else is doing it and thriving. That's making you feel like, well, what? It's like changing your whole ideas and beliefs. What you've held firm as what is your belief. You're like, that's shaking my ground. Now I have to kind of consider like.
So you just want to shut her up.
Yeah, and we weaponize shame. As far as you're concerned, if you're not wearing makeup when you go outside, if you're not doing this, that, and the other, if you're not looking the way that society requires you to, you should be ashamed, and you definitely shouldn't be speaking. So they look at her and think, oh, I don't think she's conventionally attractive, so she doesn't deserve to speak. And it just speaks to where we are as a society. I don't think we've moved too far. And so this is why I feel like at the stage in my life that I'm at, I'm not glorifying or mystifying blackness and black culture and black people. We've got a lot of problems. There are a lot of sick people in our communities. And until we call it out, we're not going to be able to move any further, because this type of behavior is not okay. And we see it happen time and time again. And I'm much happier not interacting on platforms like Twitter anymore, but they'll still come and bring their nonsense on TikTok, but it's not as much. And I had to stand up for myself. And sadly, there were other black women who should have spoken up, because they also, at some point, have also faced similar backlash from the same groups of people, but they wouldn't, because they have friends or they have people who are still in proximity there, and they still want to be desired. They still want to be accepted. And what gets them about Anthos is that she doesn't seek it.
No.
Yeah.
And so it's not really just about how they think she looks. It's the fact that she hasn't given up. She hasn't stopped talking. And she's not seeking for them to approve of her. She keeps doing it. And she keeps showing them, can you see your own behavior?
That's the part.
Yes.
She's holding up a mirror to your insecurities.
Yeah.
And
like they want her to just piss off.
And then when you call out the elephant in the room, that you guys know that it's you lot that behave like this to me.
Yeah.
Then it's like, oh, you're hating, you're man hating, you're hating us, you're hating black men. No, I'm just telling you that your behavior is harmful to me, and it's like you're not allowed to say that.
Of course you will feel embarrassed, because when you drill down into someone, why are you bullying that person? What is actually your reason? You can't stand.
But she's not horrible to anybody.
No, it's the same way that they treated Slum back in the day as well.
Yeah,
when Slumflower, Chidera would have her plaits going down and she wouldn't wear a bra, they spoke to her anyhow because they felt like, and she's beautiful. She just didn't see the need to perform online that part of the beauty at that point. Why can't I just show up as I am? And they felt like it justified how she's spoken to. And then they took one thing or a few things that she said that they might have seen as inflammatory and try to use that as the justification for how badly they were treating her, when actually your bad treatment of her predates the statements that she made. One could argue she made those very same statements because of how you treated her.
Most definitely, yes.
And then it's like the moment you say something, then you fire back, then it's like, oh, see, she's the worst.
Yeah.
Well, speaking on that, in on the podcast, and I'm not, because I think it's a new podcast, it's just starting. So I kind of was sitting there watching. I wanted to give Auntie advice. She was advising, the host was advising Anthos, saying, yeah, when you're in a young spray, you should have kicked back. I'm going to take you under my wing and teach you how to cuss a bit. And I was like, no, because actually when Anthos got up and took power and left, rather than sitting there arguing with someone who just had you.
That was enough.
That was enough.
That's all
But
she needs to
the
do.
host was like, no, you should have cussed because I know me. I know how to cuss. I'll teach. And I was like, no, because also exactly as you said, you start fighting with these people that want you to fight to get views up. You look like, and they will give
You look like an
all the
idiot, and
reason.
also it's also you're inviting more violence.
Yes.
Because the moment you start
Exactly.
cussing, if somebody hit you now, they'll say, "Yeah, but why were you running your mouth?" So actually, the best thing you could have done is walk away. I know that till today, my most popular episode of Say Your Mind was what's it? All My Sons. And I had to make that episode because it got to the point where it's just like, you cannot say online in a group that you thought was private that I need to be exterminated.
Oh, that's
right?
when you exposed the guy's
Yes,
chat.
right.
Right. Yes.
You said in a private group that I should be exterminated for no other reason than I'm speaking up about the things that are happening in society that affect you. When a black man is hurt by police or this has happened, I'm the one that's doing it. But you went and gathered there and said that your justification is, oh, well, she's with a white man. What, that justifies that? Because even before you knew that, you were still doing this anyway, right?
Yes.
And it's also none of your business. That's another thing. But to say something so violent like that, and then all of them viewed those messages or those tweets and said nothing. And there were even more vile tweets about Zaya Wade and things like that. There were horrible tweets that they were sending in that group. And then I make the episode and then it's like, rah, she's exposing people. That's so bad. That's so bad. So
you was getting all of the blame for their shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
okay, we can talk about you and shut your mouth, basically.
So I deserve to be spoken about in a manner that, oh, she should be exterminated. When we ask you why, oh, because she's just angry, she's just rude. All right, show me the tweets.
Yeah.
Point out the tweets, because it's like you've all run with a story and none of you can actually back your chat.
Yeah.
Show me when I've actually said anything. You can't find anything, right? So you just elaborate, like, oh, it's just a general idea we have, it's just this general thing. But even if I've said something that's inflammatory, you're saying I should be exterminated, and you're all in these groups there.
Crazy.
And so I feel like me saying that you cheated on your wife the night before your traditional wedding, I think it's fair game.
I think it's fair.
I think so. Yeah.
And also,
exposure for all now.
I cheated.
And that's the same one. Aloni was in that chat as well.
Yes.
And
They
again,
said she and I both needed to be exterminated. And what did
what
she
is she
done?
doing? She's just doing relationships.
Other than, lady, shall we have some fun?
Yeah.
That's
So anything that looks like audacious self-acceptance by women who are not deemed, and notice whether it's Anthos, whether it's Oloni, whether it's me, we are not light-skinned.
yeah.
And so for some reason, it makes it okay.
People can't get away from that, and they
They try.
will.
They do mental gymnastics to try
All
to be
the
like, oh, it's
time.
not about that. Talk about, what's her name? The light-skinned singer one, Jordan. Is it Jordan? What's her name?
Who's the light-skinned singer?
An auntie.
They love her. Before she put on weight, they loved her. The mixed race singer girl. I'm sure you lot will.
Jordan Smith
Jordan.
or something like that.
Georgia Smith.
That's it. Yeah.
Talk about her like that. They wouldn't.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, Lin May don't even get it.
And she's way more inflammatory.
Absolutely.
wild.
And goes after men when she's ready, go after women when she's ready. She'll go after whoever.
She'll throw black people under the bus when she's ready.
Also, all of us.
But
No. It's never that. And then even when we talk about her, there will be people that will come and do a comment and be like, you guys are just haters. And it's like,
And bitter.
Really? Yeah, and bitter.
They're dog whistle terms.
Yes,
Yeah?
yeah.
Because the only reason we could be critiquing this person is because we're not as quote unquote pretty as they are.
Yes. Okay, so focusing on us not focusing on men.
Yeah.
There's a whole big thing, which I, again, was a bit oblivious to online, decentering men.
Yeah.
And there's all these content creators talking about it, going viral. Is this nonsense, or is this an essential practice that every woman should do at this current time on earth? We should be focused on decentering men and focusing on ourselves. There were so many people that had lots of words on it. Star Monroe, she was saying once she got divorced, she started feeling validated by going on dates and then decided actually not. I don't need a man to validate who I am.
Yeah.
So she has done a video on it. What do you guys think? Is this is this just woo-woo, wishy-washy, or is it an essential?
It's necessary,
Yeah.
because Bell Hooks says that to truly know love, we have to be comfortable in solitude, right? And actually, from the moment before we even came out of the womb, we were already being conditioned to that. What we should focus on is marrying, getting a man, marrying, having children, doing that. And that's why so many people feel that they failed. Like I said, I do tarot readings for people. They're talking about, I want to have a child, but I don't want to have a child without the partner, or now I have a child and now I'm no longer with the person, like what now? And I just feel like I failed and things like that. And there are so many complex feelings around it. Me personally, it's not really about just decentering men. Sometimes I think when the conversation is reduced to that, men can jump in and be like, what do you mean? And it gets very confusing, right? Essentially what we're talking about is decentering patriarchal ideology that tells us that we are nothing as women unless we have a man in our life. We are only respected when a man has said that has claimed us. There are so many different things, because I know that we're going to touch on it maybe in a little bit, but even the idea of a woman proposing to a man, why do we have such a problem with that? When we really strip it back, why do we have a problem with that? Because that tells us actually what the issue is with society. The very fact that we think it's embarrassing for a woman to propose to a man tells us exactly what the illness, the sickness is in our society. We're not really equal then.
Yes.
We've accepted that.
Yeah.
What's so amazing? What's so amazing about marrying and taking a man's last name? What's wrong with your last name? You've had it all your life. What have you achieved by leaving your name behind to have his? And then you say that to people and it starts pissing them off, because this is what they've built everything that they've aspired to on.
We can throw in that topic about the marriage. I think we've spoken about it before.
We have.
And I think was it me that was arguing that there's something in if we want to take back our power and decenter men, then it shouldn't be bad that a woman proposes.
Yeah, exactly.
It shouldn't be.
I hear.
But we know why it is. We know what.
We know. Literally. There was that one that we had the topic on, and the woman does it in front of the family, and the guy literally looks like, oh God, why is she doing this?
Exactly.
And I was like, why would you humiliate yourself?
Because we know, but then actually there was this girl who was, this white girl that was stealing content from a black woman. She was stealing from a black woman called Regina. Yeah. And that black woman would often say that actually dating men is a humiliation ritual. Every aspect of it, when you really sit down and look at it, it's a humiliation ritual. You go through so much humiliation in order to be claimed by a man. Why are you doing that to yourself? And if we were honest with ourselves, this isn't rage bait, I'm not coming at men. If we were just honest with ourselves as women, there are so many things that we go out of our way to do in order to make a man feel more comfortable, to attract a man. There are so many, I implore us to be very skeptical of the content creators, especially the men that direct their content towards women to tell them how to be better, how to get a man. Everything's about how to get a man. If the formula was so simple, why can't people get them and keep them?
Yeah.
So that therefore means that it's not the getting of them, it's the thing that you're getting that's the issue.
Yeah.
Right?
It's so when you said it's a humiliation ritual, I felt it in my chest.
Yeah, it is.
In my chest, because there's times when I think back like, why did I
do that? Why did I do that?
For what reason? My sister speaking to me, my mum speaks into me, but yet just one man can undo everything. I'm in my bed sad. Or I'm just like, oh shit, I'm a butters. Oh shit, I'm so dumb.
And this is why it's so important to then decenter men. It's not because it's not men like, oh, I can't stand you, I hate you, go away. It's that thing that has been erected within us that we must prioritize them, and our sense of self is built on them. So me personally, I've said that I don't think I'm gonna, but don't quote me because I lie. But I said I'm not going to date anybody, sleep with anybody until maybe 2027. For the exact reason that you said then. I do so many things. I work so damn hard. I'm so proud of all the things that I achieve, but I also know how hyperfixated I can get on relationships, right? Okay. And not just romantic. It could be friendships. If something's going wrong, it can be familial. I need to focus on that thing because I can't function knowing that somebody is not all right or something is not okay. And unfortunately, a lot of the dynamics that are out there today, no matter what books you've read and what tricks of the trade you think you have, you just can't predict what's going to happen. And I'm so sensitive that I'm probably not doing anything for a few days. That's a few days that I've lost out on of doing my work and moving further with what I need to do.
You're going through the emotional...
and dealing with that. And the thing is, you can't avoid it, right? There are certain things that you can only experience, that you can only evolve at in relationships, right? Yeah. So I'm not ruling it out forever.
That was literally what I was going to say. I was going to be like, okay, so then what is that meantime process that you would take 1.5 to 2 years to think that in 2027 there would be this place that you would arrive at and you would be able to move well?
Because it's just like I've had time for myself. When I really sit down and if I'm honest with myself, I'm 38, I'm going to be 39 in October. Most of my life has been spent prioritizing other people, even when they haven't asked me to, whether that's my family, whether that's whatever. So it's not just, I'm not dating. It's like everybody needs to step back. My only priority is my son.
Okay.
And the children's home, the children in the children's home. Outside of that, me.
I think,
Okay. Right? And then, so that means I'm doing my work. I'm doing the things that bring me joy. I'm just doing me for a bit. And so I think that when you have had time to enjoy yourself, that sense of solitude, you actually know, okay, this is how much I'm willing to offer of my time.
Right.
But I think that if you haven't really had enough time to do that, it can be a lot. And I think conversations like this are so vulnerable because we could clip this right now, drop it, and there'll be asinine comments. That people who want to argue about, that you don't know what you're saying. It's because you're so angry. It's because you do this. It's because you do that. They'll try and justify it for you when the fact of the matter is, take a break. Sometimes let your pussy breathe.
I agree with that.
I think it's that.
Yes. And truly experiencing joy, knowing what that is as well, so that it isn't, I can only feel happy if there's a man there.
Yeah.
Like, as I was watching the content, I was like, okay, I understand what this is, but sometimes it felt like the decentering still centered. So because I'm detaching, but it's still like, and then I'm gonna get to the man. And
but that's my thing. I don't think so. That's the real secret to this. The unspoken thing is that I'm saying 2027 in terms of I might start dating again, but I have a feeling I just won't want to. And what does that look like when you are saying actually, I've never really enjoyed this. Like when I really go back and look at everything, no disrespect to anybody, like I just haven't really enjoyed doing this.
I think it's giving women and girls, young women, the space to think about, are you actually enjoying yourself? Are you actually happy? And having those words like, unfortunately, not to scare you or make you feel bad about yourself, but that humiliation ritual is wild because when you think about it and have those moments like, what have you done that you wouldn't accept from somebody else, that you've accepted from this person because you've been told that to be a complete person, a complete woman, you have to have a man in your life. You have to have a boyfriend, you have to have a husband. And that's the part that I'm like, we need that moment to be allowed to enjoy, to be allowed to say, I don't want to be chirped right now. I don't want to.
Like, no. You could chirp me.
No.
Whoa. I agree with you.
Saying, but for that moment where because I'm having this conversation with myself, and I was like, actually, do I have the power to say, no, actually, you're not actually right for me. I'm not.
But no, you're totally right. I'm making a joke, but you are totally right because even in the chirp scene, there's humiliation. So remember where we were the other night, right? And I'm going to actually talk about this. Let me give you some very important context because I don't share enough about myself online for certain things that I say to make sense. I'm the kind of person that I like to have somebody to flirt with everywhere. I always, like at the gym, I'll have somebody that I have a crush. I have to have, don't actually talk to me though. Don't break the illusion.
You like I like crush.
Yeah. I like a crush. Like I would talk about parasocial relationships. I'd be like, I think you'll like this color for my gym outfit. But it's totally one-sided. I don't ever want you to talk to me. And the moment that you're now looking at me, trying to, no, it just works my side.
Right.
In my, at the gym or at the office, I just like to have something to look at.
Okay,
and somebody be like, don't put everything down to astrology, but I'm a Libra sun with Libra sun in the 7th house. Like, I shine in relationships, right? But I like having pretty things to look at.
Okay.
And so that's by the by, and I realized I can have that without anything else. Just be over there, like that. That's fine. And I just like dressing up and doing my thing. That's fine. Now, we were out the other night. And this is what I mean, that even chirping is a humiliation ritual. We were out the other night, we were at an event, and then this guy starts talking to me. Now, he's not 100% my spec, but he is.
Right.
Yeah, and he's got charisma. You're like, right,
he had a
cool.
bit of stuff going on.
Right. So, yeah, and he's he's very assertive with it. Like, I walked past him a couple of times. I didn't even take notice of him. And he made me take notice of him. And he actually said, the reason I did that is because you kept walking past and you didn't look at me, even when I tried to get your attention. Okay, fine. So we start talking, and then his friends who are at the same event, I can see them walking by and they're behind, and it's like they're looking over my shoulder to him,
right?
And he's looking at them, and you could tell that it's a very much like, what's going on? You've really been talking to this one girl for this length of time. And he's like, yeah, they're looking at me like, what's going on? Like, I'm putting in so much time and I'm doing this, that, and the other. That felt humiliating, because it's almost like do you get what I mean? Like, they had decided a value for him.
Yes.
Like, why are you
sure you're supposed to be talking to
this one? There's so many there. And I hated that in that moment. I actually thought to myself, yeah, because there are so many other women here who are absolutely gorgeous. Why are you talking to me? And in that moment, I said, no. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Because it's also what it does to you when you have to then start comparing yourself to other women, and they're doing this and they're doing that and they look this way. I don't want to ever feel resentful towards other women for something they have no control over. They're just living their life.
Exactly.
Right?
Because a man has been centered.
Right.
Okay. All right. I get it. There's another thing that I was noticing as well, in terms of like struggle love. When things seem to be easy for somebody, like it's like their relationship is going well and you may be watching it online, there seems to be like he doesn't really like you. Like, it's like it can't just be seamless. Like, you can't just be in a relationship and it's all going well. People will turn to another relationship where they fought through the grind and the woman had to fight and they were cheating. Like, that's a real relationship. But when it just goes well, it's like, yeah, no, I don't think he really likes you. I don't understand why people are so attracted to hardship in a relationship. Like, that to me doesn't make a good, because that isn't a relationship.
Happy relationships don't sell products. Happy relationships don't sell products.
But people really think that you need to be fighting for a guy.
That's in a church mainly as well, or any kind of religious structure. They believe that everything, like life, earth is about struggle. Earth is about fighting. And so they buy into that. Remember that woman that was going viral with her husband, and she was saying that, just the pastors.
Yes.
And I watched that and I said, I watched that and I said, but this is so many people's relationships. The moment I see a man or any person post, usually a man, post something on the anniversary or his girlfriend or wife's birthday, and he's like, thank you for sticking by me. We've been through rough. I said, yeah.
But that's,
do you see what I mean about humiliation ritual?
That's the thing. It's like, that seems to be the pathway. Like, folks are like, that's the relationship.
But also, that's why we should descend to men in that respect. Because again, going back to that sense of shame and disgust where men are like, why do you even put up with me? I'm shit. And I've been talking about the fact that men also have been conditioned to allow them to talk down on themselves because it gives them a get-out clause for acting bad and no justification. So when they're like, yeah, I'm just bad. And
I'm just an asshole.
I'm just an asshole. And why do you even, like, women, like, you women are amazing, but I've had, like I said it last time, someone said that to me recently, men are shit. You women are amazing, so you should do better. You should, like, aspire for better or want better for yourself. I said, but why don't you want better?
And why aren't you better?
And why aren't you better? So telling me that you know that I'm better, but you're still treating me like shit doesn't work for me. And I think that's also what women need to understand. Like, you don't have to struggle, actually. And stop struggling, because this is why men are humiliating you.
But then the fact of the matter is, then it brings us to the fact that there aren't many people who have not been infected by patriarchy.
Yeah, that's the point.
So you're telling them to not struggle. So what else is there? They don't want to be lonely. So what else is out there? And you keep saying, like, you know, people will say, oh, but just choose better men. Where are they? You know what I mean? Like in the grand scheme, because of course there are good men, you know, out there. But I'm saying, you're telling these people that what's wrong is that they've just chosen badly. All right, so show us the ones that they should have chosen.
Well, that leads me straight into Nick Cannon speaking about the fact that he doesn't want his daughters to date men like him. And we had Marvin counter with this. It was great, thank you. But then, so my point is to us women, let's speak to the women, because there's a lack of accountability apparently. Why would we go for a Nick Cannon or somebody with the same Nick Cannon kid status with 0 point minus point nothing of his wealth?
Absolutely, yeah.
Women will still see a man with 25 kids and 14 baby mothers and say, I'm still going to hope for the best. What is wrong with us as women? Why can't we stop this?
Because there's a collective lack of self-esteem. And again, it comes back to what I was saying about patriarchy and how so many of us have been raised. If you are raised to believe that your value, the true value of your life and yourself comes from being partnered, you will take whatever you can get so you can achieve that. Right. And yes, women need to take accountability and men need to take accountability. But my frustration with, specifically speaking, the black community really is that we're unwilling to uproot systems that are killing us. Right. And it's not just thinking about the systemic structures of, oh, this is happening with the police or this is happening with the government. It's what's happening in our homes. That's where the real sickness can fester. And that's what we take out into the world. The fact is, the moment that a boy is growing up and he looks cute, it's like, oh, you're going to be a heartbreaker. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Are you crazy? Why would you say that to a child? You're gonna break so many hearts. Why should? That's a curse.
Yeah.
On shikwa form, like you're shikwaing on a child. You're cursing a child. I would not say that to my son. You're gonna be you're not under my watch.
Yeah.
No, that's
You will, and it's
mean things.
Words mean
They
things.
do, and that's what they will do. You're putting it on him.
Do you know what? That's such a simple statement. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say, why are you saying that? And it's just rolls off the tongue. We're going to break heart. I mean, it's very Caucasian as well.
Yeah.
I've
one's gonna be a little bit-
been in a space with a little boy, like very stereotypical 90s brown.
Yeah.
Like, and literally he's running around and women talking like, oh my God, can you imagine how many girls he's going to, like,
See?
discussing it. And it is like, he's going to think that that's okay because he's going to hear it. When he goes into teenage years, his first girlfriend, she is going to be treated like, you're only here for this today.
Yeah.
They're going to be expecting him to bring more people in, and everybody reinforces that. Then he's a gallus. Then it's just like, that's how he is.
And I watch mums specifically kind of allow their sons to be a particular way, like, oh yeah, you treat these women this way, but you know, these girls should know better, and this, that, and the other. We have a lot of self-loathing as women sometimes when we are in these interactions as well, and these are the things we're unlearning. So when we talk about decentering men, it's not so much the men, it's the ways that we've been taught to, bred to hate ourselves, and the only way, our only vindication for stopping that hatred is to have a man tell us that it's okay. Like we have been claimed. When we look at fairy tales, for instance, Beauty and the Beast, he kidnapped her essentially, right?
Definitely
and he
did.
looked
And he was a
beastly,
beast.
and he was literally a beast. And she stayed there, you know, she's staying there, being gentle, being lovable until he appears. Then her kiss turns him into, she has to love him. From her loving him, he then turns into a prince, right? And so that archetypal story came, you know, this law came before that story, right? It was just encapsulated within the story. So we are taught to believe that if we can just love the person enough, they can shed their beastly behavior, and if they don't, we just weren't the right woman. I will change for the right woman is what we also hear quite a lot of. And so when something happens, you internalize it and go, I wasn't the right one. And so I was saying to a friend today, actually, I was saying that I love where I've gotten to in life and in terms of dating, where I can say to myself, if somebody isn't behaving in a way that seems like they appreciate me being around, because I find that with the kind of way that people know me as a quote unquote public figure, or however you want to see it, there are guys who meet me and they're intimidated, so they want to neg me.
Yeah.
Right.
And so they start with, oh yeah, so yeah, I mean, you haven't done that, and sometimes you're wild outside. What wildness have you ever seen from me? I'm very direct, but I don't remember ever being wild. What are you talking about? But it's they have to underplay or undermine what I've done. And so I just had to say, I was saying to my friend today that what I've realized is that I don't ever want to be with anybody stupid, right? And so if you are in my presence as me, Kelechi Okafor, of all the things that I've achieved, the kind of person that I am, my embodiment of who I am, and you are behaving a particular type of way, I have to assume you're stupid.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's how they
Right?
should be
Because
treated.
the alternative would be there's something wrong with me, and there absolutely is not.
And I think that's more. Women need more reinforcement, realization, because when we going back to this mythical man that's got, Nick Cannon, he's got 12 kids or whatever, and the woman that comes on says like, it's gonna be me.
It's going to be me. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have a kid with him.
I'll do it and it will change. Is that situation ever redeemable? Can it work? Or can women, are we?
Eventually, they'll settle down with someone when they've worn out their penis, when nobody really wants them like that. They will settle down. But they only ended up with you because they got tired.
Yes.
It's the thing. They eventually married you, eventually did the thing because they got tired and they knew that outside they were running out of options. And so it's like, now I'll settle down. So if you're willing to be the person, and this is the thing, until a man decides that I'm ready to settle down, he's not going to. Women rarely even ask themselves if they want to settle down. And that's why there's a pandemic of cheating that, again, we don't talk about. The number of women that actually cheat, they've married, they've done all of that, and they're cheating aggressively on holidays. They're doing all of these things because all they wanted to do was have the societal signifier that somebody wants me, I've been claimed, I am a prize. But really, that person does not fulfill them in any way, shape or form. They're strangers to each other. They don't even interact. They're not sexually fulfilled. They're not spiritually or emotionally fulfilled. So when they go out and about with their friends, that's when they get to have the time that they want.
So women are to blame?
Nobody, I think that it's not a case of where the blame lies. I don't think men are to blame or women are to blame. I think the systems that we have grown up within, that is to blame. Yeah. And I think where we're being distracted is that we're fighting with each other. You know what? I hate the term gender wars, but essentially it's that we have been taught to infight as opposed to understanding that the system, like basically the soil that we have grown, that we've grown through, that's rotten. Right. And until we do something about the soil, we'll only keep having rotten fruit. Yes. And then now the fruits are cussing each other.
Yes.
Not thinking about the fact that, no, it was never our fault. Yeah. It was what we had to work with.
Exactly that. And we see it in our comments.
Yeah.
People being like just discussing mother wounds. And it's like, oh, it's all the mum's fault. And it's like, well, if we don't actually see how you can have father wounds, mother wounds, if we don't discuss the wounds to know how we are inflicting that on our children, it's not outside. It's like, I have sons. I hope that they are good men to whoever they are going to be with. I hope that we are raising good men.
Yeah.
So then I have to be I have to read this shit.
Yeah.
Like, what could the wounds be that I'm doing? Am I being overbearing? Am I being aloof? Am I like really being like, actually, no, I need my time? Is that detracting from when they may need me? I need to read up on this.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're human. And what I'm starting to learn through motherhood is that it's about being honest and transparent with where you're at, right? Some days you will be aloof. Some days you do have things going on. Like there was an instance where I was having, I got an email about this book, this novel that I've got out now. And I was being told that it's not selling as well as Edge of Here. And I was frustrated when I was reading that email because what do you mean? I did everything in my power to promote the book. Before it came out, I wrote the book. Even when I had so much happening in my life, I still managed to write this book, do all of the things, then promote the hell out of it, then organize a launch party, do all of these things off my own back, do all of these things. And then you're emailing me weeks after the launch has happened to say, oh, by the way, your first week's sales wasn't anywhere close to what you had for Edge of Here. I started getting frustrated and my son asked me for something and I went, 1 second. And in that moment I said, that's it. That is it. I'm not doing this. I will never let this system do this to me where I'm snapping at my child. That's not to say I won't ever snap again. Do you get what I mean? But I
being
won't
aware.
being aware.
Exactly.
And I had to in that moment say, I'm so sorry. I was reading an email that really frustrated me. You were about to ask me something and I shouldn't have reacted in that way. And it's like, I understand, mummy. That's okay. And even that broke my heart because you shouldn't have to understand. And so that's why I had to pattern them lot. Like, don't bring me that nonsense again. Don't email me like that again. Like, I had to set a firm boundary with them because I did not want their poison to seep into my life.
I think that's the part. I think it's, and I always say that with my daughter. And there's this conversation about single mums that are destroying all these men and turning out all these crazy, wicked men. But regardless, raising my daughter by myself, I recognize patterns too. And when the minute I recognize a pattern where I'd come home from work, put her in the front room, this is when she was quite young, go straight to my bedroom because that's what I grew up seeing. But mum was working hard and she was tired and she did shift work. And where her comfort was while she was going through all the pressures was in her room. And I started doing that. I had pressures and stress, but I don't know why I started going into my bedroom. Doing the same thing. Go and do your work. My daughter's coming to ask me, Mummy, go and do your work. What am I doing in my room? Not really anything. When I recognised it, again, recognizing, I don't know if I actually apologized to her, because I think she might have been too young to notice what that was. But I came out and I said, no, we're going to do dinner. We're going to sit together because that's what I didn't get. So this is what you're going to get. So I had to readdress. And it is just being aware. For mothers who are under pressure, because I think that negative sound like, yeah, you lot are raising, you've got an incestuous relationship with your sons and you want them to be the boyfriend and the husband and then this and all that for the absentee father. I understand that happens. And I think when we spoke about it last week, we were in agreement of like, that can happen. But I do think also taking that pressure, not taking the pressure off, but for mothers who are in that situation where you're so frustrated, it is being open and honest and speaking to your children in a way that, because children aren't dumb, they're sponges.
They
and they're mirrors to
know.
our madness. So you have to stop. You have to say, this is what I'm feeling. This is what it is. And seeing where it goes. I know it's scary sometimes. And I think in the black community as well, children is to be seen and not heard. We can't share our emotions. That's not what it is. You're not my little friend and all that type of stuff.
But that's all patriarchy. But that's, and I'm glad you mentioned that because again, that is a result of colonialism. That is a result of white supremacy. That's not how we practice raising children prior to colonialism. When you look at the model of how a lot of West African specifically, I'll speak about, West African households raise their children, it is a direct reflection. It's the same pyramid that was used for colonialism. Where were we told we were only to speak when we were spoken to by the colonial masters, right? By the enslavers, the slave merchants, the plantation owners. That's where we were told these things. When you look at the type of punishments that we used in these households, they were the direct ones that were used by the enslavers, by the colonial the colonial invaders, right? And so we kept those things, this false hierarchy of the benevolent master. Where do we see that? The father that's stoic, that doesn't really connect with you, but he provides. So that's that. So oftentimes what people think that they're doing that's tradition is actually trauma. Is it trauma or tradition? This is what people need to ask themselves. And trauma has transformed into tradition. Yes. And so actually what we want to do is the untraditional thing where we're breaking down those hierarchies so that we can communicate, because you have a lot of people who, again, I keep referring to the tarot readings because it's when people open up the most, right? They will try to start with, but I love my mum or I love my dad. And then they go into some of the most painful things I've ever heard. Yes. Right? Because they can't, and so that's where they're finding the stagnation in their life, because they haven't been able to bring these two things together, these diametrically opposed realities where the people that you love treated you in an unloving way. And that's not that they meant to, but it's also what they have learned. Yes. And so it's okay to admit that the people I loved didn't love me in the way that they should have. Yes. Right? Yes. And so even when we're talking about with the things that we're doing with our children to be different, we still do need an element of boundaries, because there is that age gap, there is that experience gap, and they do need somebody that they can look to as a caregiver who doesn't give them too much of themselves and of their things. Right? So there are so many ways that I'm seeing, and our trauma play out, and it's just like, it doesn't have to be like this. And I think it's interesting, not coming at anybody mad, but I think it's interesting when men get platforms and they start talking about things, and we can all talk. How do you treat the people in your home? Because we have too many, even Derek Jackson, you would sit in your car and be advising women about, this is how you get a good man and this is what you need to do, but look how you were treating that helmet of salvation.
He was sitting outside of some of the girls' houses, doing those videos.
And then eventually you got rid of her anyway. And she was there on the internet fighting for her life.
She's still fighting. She's still out here doing prayers, selling clothes, trying to create communities.
Because she's deeply broken, right? Yeah. And so these are the kind of men that are given platforms, and they'll go and talk. I know so many different men who are invited onto here, there, everywhere, to come and give their takes and their wisdom about how to be a good man, a good this and that. But I also have it on good authority that you haven't treated the women in your life very well.
Yeah.
Right? So where are you talking from? What wisdom are you talking from? So we have a lot of false prophets is the thing.
There is
and
that,
if we are not willing to be honest about that, what we are perpetuating, we're leading people down the wrong path. We will be letting these people talk, whether on the news or wherever, just letting them talk. People go, they're great, I'm going to go and follow them. You've just planted a poisonous seed in their life.
Yes.
And sometimes we won't know, right? The thing is, we don't know.
Until it's all
of the bits.
Revealed.
Yes.
And we're so conflicted that it's even that we end up forgiving the wrong one, forgiving the right one, and then just like, oh, it's okay. And then it gets back to, that's what men do anyway. And yet the women get all the vitriol. So with a man who's broken, who has a broken relationship with his mother, does he do?
It's interesting. So I dated a guy briefly who clearly had a mother wound, and I would know in astrology when they have a mother wound. I mean, I see it in astrology with having a Scorpio moon. I have a Scorpio moon, but this particular guy,
Scorpio moon.
Yes,
that is generally what it's. It can be.
So usually, if I'm looking at astrology, anybody with a Scorpio moon would have had a mother, because moon represents the mother in astrology, and the sign of Scorpio is very deep, intense, very, very painful experiences, right? So if I see somebody with a Scorpio moon, I'm immediately like, oh, baby, what happened?
What was the
thing? Because you would have had to grow up very early to look after your mum somehow. You would have had to put your childhood aside for your mum in some kind of way, see your mum, that you notice that your mum was not capable of raising you somehow, right? And so you would have had to grow up to raise yourself, usually. And I've never been wrong. Anybody with that, the moment I see that Scorpio moon, let's go. There's something there, right? And there are different themes for, like, if I saw an Aquarius moon, I know that you had a mentally detached mother, like an emotionally detached mother. I know that, right? And the moment I ask, your mum wasn't very close to you, was it? No, because she and they start telling you. So you know, based on the signs, what kind of relationship they had. I can even tell if the mum has an addiction or a mental health problem, because I usually see the moon in aspect to Neptune. Neptune is the planet of illusions, addictions, that sort of thing. So if I see moon mother touching Neptune, I'm like, yeah, what's the thing that your mum had, right? But the reason that's by the by, but this guy, I noticed that he despised the way that his father loved his mum, because he didn't feel like his mum deserved that love, because the mum was so, he felt like his mum was so problematic, and she was so.
Who has that? Stephen Bartlett.
Oh yes,
and he talks about his mum all the time, and it literally is like, his mum deserves nothing.
Yeah, I would love to see his birth chart, because so this guy despised that. His dad is the best person in the world. You know, his dad's the best person in the world, but his mum, no, she didn't deserve all of that. I don't even really like to talk to her, really. But so what I noticed was that he liked to date very powerful black women.
Right.
He would move towards powerful black women, towards them in a very subservient way, like, oh, I want to help you. Is anyone protecting you? Is anyone looking after you? But the moment he got into their kind of into close proximity with them, then it would start the battle he couldn't have with his mum. He starts trying to have it with these women, almost trying to like break them down, or you know, I remember one time, I think it was, he said to me that he was seeing another rather like powerful black woman, and she corrected him on a word that he used. She was like, "That's not the accurate word for that thing. It's this thing." Lost it, started getting very rude to her. And so, because we know that in psychology, people seek whatever unfinished story they have from their childhood, they'll seek out people to help them play it out. And it's usually within romantic dynamics. So he felt overpowered by his mother. So what he needed to do was enter into relationships with, seek out powerful black women and try to
dominate them. So then it's about recognizing the patterns.
Recognizing the pattern. So then that's when, you know, I come along and I'm like, I noticed that you're doing this thing. And at first it's like, I don't tell, you don't know. Okay, calm down. You're gonna block you for a week or two, let you calm down. When I unblock, you should have thought about this. Have you thought about your action? And eventually he started to see it. Like, he really started to see it, and he was like, damn. That's not to say that it's necessarily changed, but he's aware now. Why am I attracted to this woman? Oh, she's an MP. Right. Why am I attracted to them? And then you want to get with them, and then it becomes this whole thing.
So then, but there are a lot of men out here, because also there's a lot of men out here that are possibly angry at their mums because their dad's gone, and it might not be their mum's fault that their dad's gone, but their dad's gone. And so what did you do as a woman? What did you do?
But more time, what we're calling, in fact, mother wounds are actually just father wounds. Like, a lot of guys are just, they're working, the validation, the money that they're seeking, the life that they're trying to live is to impress a father that never ever saw them. And there are men who had fathers in the home. I know a man who had both of his parents at home, but because his dad was such a tyrant, everything he ever did was to try and get his dad's approval. And so you've won every award under the sun, because you'll know the difference. For me anyway, I can tell the difference. When it's the mother wound, there are emotional things that they do, right? When it's a father wound, they seek accolades. They go out to get awards.
Okay.
Right?
I would say that would be the difference that I've seen as well. Like, you can spot it. It usually is like the kind of overachieving of lots of things. And there's no satisfaction.
And that's me. So when if people are talking about a mother wound, mine isn't really a mother wound, it's a father wound. And so upon everything so sometimes when people stop me and they say, "Oh, thank you for all that you've done, I really appreciate it." I used to have this really sinking feeling when I would achieve the next thing, and I'll just think, and so I don't feel it. So I have to do more and do more. And so it's really through the spiritual work and the energetic work I've been doing over the past few years that's allowed me to be able to face that head on. And it's not a one and done. Like, you keep visiting the thing, and you'll find different triggers every time. Like, why do I want to date you? Is it a challenge? I need you to see me. Who didn't see me? Why am I trying to get you to see me? Who didn't see me? And the moment you clock that, it immediately. So the more work I've done, I've realized that I find emotionally unavailable people really unattractive. But before, it was a challenge.
Like, to get them to switch it around.
You're gonna see me. And you waste so much time. Because unfortunately, when they do, I'm like,
and then you're not really on it.
And it's that part. I think mine is always waking up to, you're trying to fix something to prove a point that I am good enough to fix you. And then when you're there fixed or whatever, you're like, did I even give my chance to even think about whether I even wanted this person in the first place? At what point did I realize I wasn't happy? Because I didn't let myself realize I'm not happy in this situation. And I think that's what women need to get better at. Understand that what do you actually want? I think the minute we start asking ourselves that, what do you actually want? Are you actually happy? Do you want this person really? And the myth, that whole man checklist, which people ridicule. And I get sometimes it gets out of hand and it can be so specific. But at the same time, I do think, let's put aside all the kind of jokes and banter about it and how ridiculous it can be. Women do need to really, and it's not the material, he can't buy me a Birkin and he can't.
No, it's helped me massively.
It's helped me massively.
What do you put on your list?
Mine was very straightforward. I was just like, be healthy spiritually, mentally,
Yes,
emotionally,
right.
and you know, be actively working at it. Have a reverence for a higher power than yourself. I'm not saying be religious, but just see that there's more to life than you.
Yes.
Because if immediately somebody feels that way, have a sense of humor, because I'm funny as hell, so you're gonna have to match me laugh for laugh.
Yes.
Right? Be intelligent, be curious about life, because when people lack a curiosity, they'll be intimidated by you. Right? Love my son, love my child, just even as much as I love them. Do your best.
Yes.
Right? You have to have the same level of care, the same level of intention around my child. If you don't, it's not gonna, it's not going to happen. And to be very generous and very honest and very kind, right? Mine is very straightforward, right? It's not even about physical attributes.
Yes.
But it's the character of the person that I'm more concerned about. There were other things in there, but those were the main ones that come to me straight off the bat. And because it's been there for so long, I know now. So when I've seen somebody not match it, I literally cannot feel any attraction. It's not.
It's very quick to then be like, okay, not you.
I wish I had my list for the past 2 years, and it's been helpful. And even getting into a new spin of like every morning, my morning salutations, and then the ask of what I want. And actually, just there's one thing I forgot to add to mine that you just said that I'll add to mine. But it is also being quite. People say be specific, and I think women, we can get that mixed up about the specificity of it all. Like you has to wear black shoes on a Sunday. Let's leave that alone. It's about the general things. I do have my specifics that are non-negotiable, but it really is remembering it's not just how handsome they are, how tall they are. It's about character, kindness, generosity. Those things that will make you happy, like genuinely. If a bag makes you happy and you think that should be on the list, fine. But really, it's a material thing that could go. What makes you genuinely happy and comfortable? Those are the things that should be on your list.
Exactly. And for me, one of them is like, be my biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
Like being with somebody, dating somebody that's jealous of you, I would not wish it on my worst enemy. Maybe I would on my worst enemy. But but honestly, it is. And we see so many women now talking about it who are in the public eye. When you've been partnered with somebody that absolutely despises your success, it can ruin your life.
Yes.
Right?
And it's knowing the small things that they will say, because it's never a big huge thing of don't do that job. It's little things of there you go, talking all the time.
Or you've got an award ceremony, or you've got a big event, and then that's when they choose to say just a little thing of like,
I don't. I'm sure you want to wear that. You always wear dresses where your it's but you'd be like, oh no, but they're trying to help me be better. And it's the chinking away.
It was
the craziest thing? People would do that to me, hoping that Russ would pick up on it. Wow. So in comments, especially when we was in the Great Debaters, they would be like, you're always talking, and sometimes some people would even kind of nudge him, not at him, like, your wife's out here just always talking. Thinking that he is going to carry it on, but we're sitting there, generally, more time, we're sitting next to each other. Yeah. And he's like, Rob, people are really evil, innit? Like, they really try and get into my head so that I then start saying to you
to get into
like they're trying to affect his ego, so then he's gonna take it.
Aren't you gonna pattern your woman?
Ooh, and
she's out there like that. Aren't you gonna put a leash on your bitch? Right, like those kind of things. And it's just like, because we have an egalitarian relationship, we're actually a team, a partnership. You've never seen what that looks like. That's the only reason you could be doing.
It has to be struggle.
Absolutely, you have to
dominate her.
You have to be like, no, you can't talk online after 10. You have to
imagine.
Yeah, but I
think on your Instagram live, he should just come and drag you.
Break time. Get in the room. Shut up. Delete the last comment. I had a guy say to me, and again, it shouldn't have been. I stayed too long, and said to me, because I did a Q&A, and I was like, didn't really say anything, like, because everyone, and you do, and not to get gassed, people come up to you, you did an amazing job, this was great, I know that's my forte.
And you're good at it.
That's my forte, but you're not saying anything. And I remember the advice, he goes, well, because, there's some questions that you could have asked that you didn't.
There we go.
And then it's like, you know what, maybe you should speak to somebody. And the somebody that he referenced, that person does not do Q&As. They're in the public eye. They don't do Q&As. So even if he was to suggest a person that did Q&A, even if it's I can throw a name, I can say, you should speak to Clara Amfo.
Yes, that's who I thought about,
Clara Amfo. That at least I'm like, you're at least throwing someone.
I would still be
I would
like,
still be
that-
pissed.
No, it's
I'd
still
be like, that
it's
was
still
a
rude.
backhand.
It's still rude. But at least there's someone that
It makes
she's
sense.
and she's good at what she does, so I'm going to take that.
Yeah.
And she is the top of that.
At the top of the game,
So
yeah.
I was like, I'll take that. But the person that he suggested, I was like, and I took it in, and it should have been like, we're done. It didn't. I didn't have that confidence. I didn't have that foresight or like.
But did you feel it in your body?
I felt it in my body. I felt like, how can you say this to me? And I also did have like, it was one that I wasn't necessarily used to. It was a difficult conversation, but it wasn't a bad conversation. We had a great conversation, and I had all the questions there. But it's just when you're doing Q&As, you're navigating which question will work at which time, and so you've got to do a bit of a dance. I think I can do that quite well.
Yeah.
It's not always smooth. So then I was like, what did I not do?
Oh, that's what you wanted.
No, and that's the doubt. That's the self-doubt
it.
that kicks
In your head.
And then you know as well, like, are you prettier in their presence? Do you glow? Are you like, is your skin well? Is your tummy good? Like, your body gives you all of the signs where you are in danger.
Yes.
It tells you, your body, because that's what has not been programmed in the way that society wants, even with all of the crap foods that we're given, right? The body still remembers, right? Even if our brain has been conditioned. So even the idea of butterflies, reading that's actually a sign of discomfort and anxiety.
Yes.
You shouldn't be feeling butterflies. But Hollywood romanticized it to us, and it needed to when we think about the people, the top players within Hollywood and the producers, and why they would want you to romanticize the idea of the butterflies that are telling you you're in danger or you don't feel safe in this dynamic.
Yes.
Right?
More time it's fear, isn't it?
Yes, it's fear.
But if you actually know how to, as I'm always saying, people don't know what they're feeling.
Yeah.
No,
When
they
people
don't.
say, oh my God, I was feeling, I'm just like, you probably don't even know.
No.
Gas could be
anything,
and you're up in arms or not.
Yeah.
When you should have been like, I need to run now.
Because
you're there like, no, but he gives me all the feels. What feels?
Do you know what?
It's
When
anxiety.
you say butterflies, it's so funny because there's times when it's fear, it's nervousness.
Yeah.
Call it what it is.
Yes.
Butterflies, and there's excitement.
Yes.
But excitement comes with joy and anticipation.
And
it's
you know
that.
you can
different.
feel
Yeah.
like
and
a different
excitement because I'm like, can't wait to see you. That's whatever that is. But when you have that nerve term, I felt that so many times going to see because I don't know what I'm going to walk in. Not that I'm never violent or anything like that, but is that person going to give me what I've been desperately wanting?
Yes.
Is it going to be the day? Today's the day that's going to be like, yes, it's you, my queen.
That's
And that's not any state that we need to be in.
no,
right?
not for our nervous system.
So, where are we at? We've done the list. So, with your list, you can have your list. We've done men with mother wounds, which are really father wounds.
Yes.
Projected onto mother wounds.
Projected onto the mothers.
Onto the mothers.
Spotting all the wounds. And then even within yourself, like, what are you lacking that you're going out there trying to find in this dude?
And
what is he providing for? It's really knowing yourself. I feel like that's the point of the decentering men, is to focus on yourself.
Exactly. And that's what it brings us to. But they have to say it in the way that they've said it, because that's where we've been told to put all our hopes and dreams into. And it's unfair on men as well to have been put in that position, because we don't talk about that aspect enough. Well, we do within feminism, but because feminism is such a dirty word, people don't understand that what we're trying to say is that all of us should not have to suffer under the boot of patriarchy.
Definitely.
That's why we find that, you're committing suicide at higher rates than we are.
Yeah.
You're more likely to be incarcerated at a higher rate than we are, because you have not been taught how to regulate yourself, how to not even regulate, because I even think that can be like an elitist or Western idea that doesn't always serve us. But you've not been taught how to sit with your emotions and how to understand them, how to make space for them. So and without having your frontal lobe develop, because women have more developed frontal lobes, generally speaking, like, to have all of these things happening, there's no way for them to figure out what's going on. So they're more likely to act out.
Yes.
And understanding that this also doesn't serve you, to have a woman put all of her hopes, wishes and dreams on you.
And this is why...
And you're crumbling under the pressure of it. So of course you're going to act out and maybe cheat or do this and split your personality because you don't know who you are.
So then in that respect, again, I guess I suppose it really does all boil to knowing yourself. But when you are in it as a man and a woman's like, you are my king. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm only half. I'm not even a prince.
Yeah.
How when you're in it, how do you navigate that really honestly And is it the first sign of flags? You all go.
No, just willing to have your heart broken. I think that, or go through the discomfort of that, because it's always hard realizing that somebody doesn't have what you need, or it can't meet you where you're at, right? And Naira Waheed, I believe it is, that has a poem that she says, you never have to convince somebody to meet you on the bridge. Somebody can love you more than you've ever been loved in your life and still not want to meet you on the bridge. And whatever their reasons are, you must leave, because you never have to convince somebody to meet you on the bridge. There's always a love that will be ready and willing and will meet you at that bridge.
Can I just say something? Nana wouldn't walk the bridge with me in New York.
No, I wouldn't. I'm scared of bridges.
There you go. But there's always somebody else. There's always somebody willing, right?
But you love me, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So you know it's important, and it's scary, because sometimes it's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to get another chance. I don't know if there's going to be another person. There are billions of people in the world.
Okay,
there's always another person.
Okay, guys, woo.
Or you don't want to date outside your race.
Fine. Okay, leave me alone. Okay, and I'm not alone. Sisters with me.
They're with you.
But you
Good luck
also
to you all, but
don't
there are
want
black
to
people
date
everywhere, so you'll be
What?
fine.
Where?
There
You
are
don't want to
Colombians,
date outside of your
Afro-Brazilians.
What?
facial spec.
No,
that
I
you
don't.
Like.
No,
what's your
I
facial
don't.
spec?
No, I don't have one. I have a handsome. My version of handsome.
What's that?
It is anything.
It's
No.
very specific.
No, it's not.
They look like mice or lions.
Of mice and men.
No, but but if you look at the people that I like, I've had different types of men.
Yes, but they have the same.
But I don't.
I just feel like you should listen to Oprah on this one. That the package may come in.
No, but the thing is, let that different package approach me. I don't get approached in that way.
What about women just
Maybe-
going to approach men? Is that ever
That's happening.
advice?
We're
doing that more.
We are doing that more. We are having some transits astrologically. That means that women are, and I've even noticed it with me. I'm not somebody that not that I've approached anyone, but I'm more open in a way. Like if I'll meet eye contact, whereas usually if I'm walking down the street and I can tell somebody's like trying to, I won't look.
You wouldn't.
I won't look.
I'm scared.
But now I'm like, depending.
Yeah,
I'll
you
look.
would.
And I think that it's opening up more. But as we say, we know the reason why we cringe for women when they propose to men, because it's just like, if he wanted to, he would have done it. That's how society usually works, right?
Yeah.
And that's why we're cringing for you. But in a dynamic where you know that both people, and you know, sometimes the men are the ones that should be proposed to in a particular dynamic. You know that the type of personalities that are in that relationship, it actually maybe should be the woman that proposes to him, because he's the
feminine one.
not even, I wouldn't even
Just checking. I'm joking.
but I get what you mean, right? But that is essentially, if somebody were to use a word, maybe they'd use that word. But to me, he would be the more tender one, like the more flowy one.
But this is the problem with it, because what is masculinity to women in 2025? What does it mean in 2025? What is masculinity? Because I'm not opposed to a man that's in touch with his feelings. I might have a limit to how you cry if you need to cry. There might be a man cry rather than a blubber.
What the hell?
You know what I mean?
But
that's being specific. That's being, but there's what is masculinity to what do we find attractive in 2025 when the rules of masculinity have gone out the window? We don't want a man to drag us by our hair. Some of us do. What is it? Because men are confused. I believe that men are like...
I just think it's and this is why we have to move away from our antiquated ideologies around masculinity and femininity. I don't try and focus on those terms. What you are looking for is somebody who is unflinching and willing to meet themselves time and time again. That doesn't need a packaging. Somebody who is willing to meet themselves, face their shadows time and time again, and commit themselves, devote themselves to showing up as their best selves as often as they can, and who's willing to love you and be present with you unapologetically. That goes for both people, right? And in order to do that, they will have to maybe explore emotions that they've never explored before. They're going to have to explore wounds that they've never explored before. They're probably, some of them, going to need to learn how to cry, right?
Yes.
And you, as the woman, you're going to have to get comfortable with that, because we don't think about enough the ways that we have been socialized to not actually find tenderness or vulnerability in men attractive. We say we want it. We say we want it. But then when they actually show that to us, we're like, yuck, this is awkward.
People can absolutely go into shame immediately of, why the hell are you crying?
Right. And become the reason that they didn't want to do that in the first place. That they didn't want to show those emotions in the first place.
You know what I find think this is the most disgusting thing that I do find a lot of women can do. They will go and tell the girl group when their man is at their lowest.
Yes.
And I think that is such a horrible thing to do. Like, I'm always like, why would you do that? Like, if he shared all of his vulnerability and you're like, you never guess what he took.
Exactly.
How the hell are you doing
because
that?
It's like I've conquered him. And the thing is, we have those issues. And this is why I love our conversations, because it's some people, like we say, will watch and they'll feel uncomfortable. But it's like, we do this. And this is why I say, read more bell hooks beyond All About Love. Reading Communion, The Female Search for Love. That's one of the best books to ever exist. Reading that, I had to keep putting it down because I was getting pissed off. Like, she was saying things that was hitting somewhere. And it was making me like realize that you know when you start squirming, you don't have it together like you think you do. Like the woman that was listening to the podcast and the client that was listening to podcasts and had to put it down and go. It was making me confront things, and I was just like, that's not me. Don't say that about me. I'm a good woman. And then I'm like, no, that's also you.
So then in that respect, that's when men will say, you women don't take accountability. So do we have that problem? A little bit.
Yeah, but the way that they're talking about the accountability, I don't think they see the intricacies and the nuances, but we do have that issue because society has had us believe in some regards that we are natural nurturers, that we are this, we're that. No, we have just been put in the role that's been played out over and over again. We do not have any biological indication of being more or better nurturers than men. It's just that society has socialized us into being in that role. And some people are not fit for purpose when we see it, and their children need to be removed from them because they're not fit for that. And in fact, they'll weaponize it because I'm the nurturer and you don't know how to do anything. You have to listen to me because I'm doing all of these things for you. In fact, they look for a man that can't do anything because it's like that you're now under my control because I'm going to do all of these things for you. And when women lead with these things like, I cook for my man, I clean for my man, I don't know why I can't find a man, but these strippers have men because because it's like, so what you thought because you can hold because you could spray Dettol and you could fry a pancake, you're deserving of a good man. That's all it takes,
basically,
right? Because that's what we were promised. And so to me, it's like we all have to divest from the lies that we've been told. We have been lied to for centuries, literally centuries, because our love for each other predates all of this stuff, right? And it's finding our way back to love again. But for that to happen, we have to practice a radical honesty individually and really face ourselves. So I was talking about my ayahuasca experience that I had last year in September. That was it was horrible. It wasn't a bad trip. It was horrible because I had to see things that I didn't know I felt that way about. Right. And since then, it's made me so much like I've become way more vigilant about, I don't want this. I don't want this near me. I don't want this near me, because I now see just how sad my inner child has been the whole time, trying to make an unsafe world feel safe. And really all the social commentary, all of the things that I've been doing throughout the years, essentially when we break it down, what am I doing? I'm trying to prove that I'm a good person. Like if I do this, if I speak up for the community, maybe one day I'll feel safe and maybe one day people will care about me and I can be a good girl. And then eventually it's just like,
it's not how it goes.
It's not how it goes. That's not the script. It's never going to work. It's never going to work.
When are we going to do ayahuasca? Because I need to do it. I need to go with somebody. Nana and I
let's do I'll organise a retreat for us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know your sister does it in Ghana.
I was going to say, you could go to Ghana and do it with her.
Also, that too.
Yeah, she's doing it in September.
Ooh.
I can't go in September.
Well, the next time.
When you're there, when you're there in December, she's still there. She'll put it on.
It's worth it. It's so
I really think
worth it.
Anyway, that's another conversation.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some quick fire.
Okay.
First of all, actually, did you have an enemy of progress this week? Did you have your own?
No.
enemy of progress?
I mean, it was going to be Kemi, but you've covered her from previously.
Just say your words. We like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Kemi Badenoch, if you see this, I need you to understand that you're so pathetic.
Oh.
Right? You're so pathetic, and I recognize your wound. We were talking a lot about mother wounds and parental wounds.
Yes.
What is it?
And I
Tell
see
us.
that you are so deeply wounded,
Yes.
and you're so lonely inside that you're seeking the validation of people that you know actually will never love you within the white conservative elite. You're ostracizing yourself in a way that you think will get you credits, coins with these people, but you'll always remain a pauper. You need to understand that. When you find a way to love yourself, when you find a way to understand that you're worth so much more than this charade or the charade that you're doing at the moment, you'll start to understand peace. And I pray that maybe when you reach, I don't know, 55, 60 years old, you look back on this and you're a bit embarrassed, but you're proud of yourself, because at some point you stop lying to yourself that what you needed to do was to keep getting cookies for being the that you are.
That's the truth of it.
Amen, because it's true.
What would that wound be more? Is it father?
Yeah, accolades.
Yeah.
Accolades is father.
It seems like
Yeah.
she keeps on trying
to make her father proud.
Can accolades never be mother?
Not really. I mean, it could. Psychologists might disagree, but in my experience and what I've seen, those of us, myself included, who chase accolades, who need recognition for certain things, it's usually father wound. There was no, like, if this father would have probably been around, and it's interesting with my dad, which I always say he's the first person that ever told me that he loved me, right? He would, whenever I speak to him in Nigeria, he'd say, Kelechi, remember I love you, eh? But there was that distance, and he could have, initially I romanticized it that, well, I was all the way in England and he was all the way in Nigeria, but if you wanted to, you could have come over, you could have found a way, but, or you could have sent for me. There were so many different ways that could have worked. And so even with that, your adult self understands things, but your child self is still like, if I was better, if I did things, then he would be here.
Oh, I hear that, because everything that Kemi said when she spoke about back home, whatever happened in Nigeria it's
traumatizing for her.
Absolute pure trauma.
Yeah.
And it's very strange.
And she hates herself. It's not really about us. She hates herself.
She hates herself. She absolutely hates.
Running to the arms of a set of people that hate you too.
And it's just crazy to me, because when I put my loathing of her aside and I look at her, she's actually cute. She's an attractive woman. She's got a cute body. She's got a cute face. I mean, sometimes the braids and I make it, but she's cute. And I'm just like, you're making yourself clapped by what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Basically.
And we can all see it.
We can all see
And
it.
they see it too. Her comments are wild.
Crazy.
I hope she sees this.
I hope she does.
And one day, because we know it isn't today or tomorrow.
That's who I'd like to debate. If there was ever, I don't care if it's Jubilee or Zeus or whoever, or GB News, whoever set up a debate for me and Kemi Baby.
GB News will probably make that happen.
Make it happen.
Or Piers.
Yes, Piers. But he
Would
needs
you
to
go
stay
on
out
Piers?
of
Yeah,
it. He needs to stay out of it.
'cause-
Before I used to say I wouldn't, because I know it would upset people who follow me and my community, but who knows?
Oh, to go on there.
Because it's as you said, when your words are being manipulated, or just because when I started to enjoy being a talking head, and then I realised, I'm a talking head.
Yeah.
Then it starts a bit like, especially if you're not about it.
Yeah.
And you actually mean what you say. I'm not here to be a pawn off a pawn. So you have to be really careful.
You have to be.
But a debate on Piers with you and Kemi, I would.
The only because it's just
I would
we can't.
rewind that.
Yes, but it's just the way, because I need it to be a debate.
You need it to be on somewhere that nobody can interject, nobody can stop the show, nobody can cut the cameras, so she can get it straight.
Yes.
But
That's true.
or some kind of show where she's willing to actually talk, as opposed to a debate, and to be like, girl, what happened?
Yeah, that part. Have her on.
That would be
the couch,
amazing to actually really sit down with her and be like, okay, let's go through it.
Yeah, what
come on,
happened?
aunties. I mean,
So don't do the spin of it all.
Yeah, no,
Literally,
just
just
watch
as
it,
a black woman to black, let's just.
Because
what
sometimes
happened?
people don't realise. So I was talking to a guy who said, it sounds like I'm talking to bare man, but I'm not. I'm just talking about different facets of particular people. Yeah. And I was talking to him and he said, I don't like labels. I said, you're about to sound like what's understood never has to be explained. And he's like, no, I just don't like labels and da 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 da. I think that things should flow, because I know bare men who are married and they are the biggest cheaters on roads. Like, I know that, and this, that, and the other. And he was saying all of these things, and I thought, fair enough, but still, I'm not buying this. No, I don't care. Because when you have that, people have expectations, and if anyone has expectations, shut up, man, you idiot. No, but then he did say to me though, at a different part of the conversation, seems like I'm airing out his business, but nobody knows who it is. He said that at a particular age in his life, he was told by who he thought that was his dad that he wasn't his dad.
Sure.
And so when he said this is a separate part of the conversation, then he said, the labels thing in a separate part of the conversation. And I've gone, have you considered that the reason that you might not be big on labels and you think that labels, people don't live up to them or whatever, might be because the person you thought was your father wasn't your father.
Yeah.
And he was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Hasn't spoken to me since.
Yeah. Because he
Yeah,
got all
too
the
much.
feels and was like, absolutely not. I do not want to face that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
okay,
respect that.
yeah.
Go and figure it out.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
sometimes that's all we're meant to do. Like, and it was just one conversation. We hadn't met up outside of the initial time that we first interacted, met each other. Outside of that, this was just a conversation. And I was glad. I was just like, that's all I
least that's
probably
a nugget.
needed to do.
Yeah.
Go and figure out.
Because he can go on his next journey and
Yeah.
he may be an absolute arse for the next 5 years.
Oh, he's going to be
But
fucked.
it may,
Be in his head.
it will resettle and
Yeah.
collaborate and be like, okay, so this is what you're doing. You are avoiding.
Yes.
And you have no peace. Do we want peace? Yes, we do. Okay, let's deal with it.
And that's so funny that you say that, because that was actually what he said to me when he stopped me when I was out, really stopped me my way. And he was just like, still talking to me. And at one point he went, I'm looking at the way people are looking at you and I feel like you're trouble, but all I want now in my life is peace.
Oh.
Like, I want peace. I said, well, I don't know about that. And then you use the word peace because essentially you call people in that are going to kind of give you the key or show you where your key is for the next stage of your
When you're
life.
ready, when you're truly ready to
Right.
live.
And so for me, I always know that for me, I kind of show up in people's lives, or I gravitate towards people when something in them is dying, when they're about to transition into a new phase of their life, whether they're doing it kicking and screaming or otherwise. And so I can approach things the same way I'd approach and interrogate myself is what I offer to other people.
Yeah.
But never in a harsh way. I just placed it very kindly that, have you considered that these two things might be linked?
Yeah.
And that blew his mind.
A lot of guys don't like the word label as well. And that, I love that analogy because labels, it's like a problem. It's like kryptonite to them.
Right.
But it's like, it was because for me, I put it down to, again, accountability. You don't want to have to face up to the fact that I broke up with my girlfriend because I've got 20 other girlfriends.
Yeah.
I broke up with this woman, or I don't.
Or meet expectations because they're scared of
expectations.
disappointment,
Yeah.
because society has already made them despise themselves a lot. And so the fear of disappointment means that if I never have anything expected of me, I can never disappoint this person.
But yet, whilst you're disappointing this person.
Whilst you're disappointing them.
'Cause
So
we
you
all
try
have
not to do it one way,
expectations.
but you're doing it
The other way.
And there naturally will be expectations.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
So we all have them.
Yeah.
So
And
you've
it's
entered into
unavoidable.
something.
yeah.
He has expectations. She has expectations. You're not going to meet the expectations.
bridge.
Yeah.
And you know you can't. But it's like, but we were just going through the flow. So then I can't actually say what my expectations
And then it denies women a lot of times
Agency.
the opportunity to express their hurt,
Yes.
because we were never anything. So
we
why
were
are you
going
hurt?
through the
Yeah,
flow.
we were going with the flow. You weren't my girl. What's the issue? But you
It's a
absolutely
trap.
knew when you were there 6 days out of those 7
Yes.
days in her yard.
Going with the flow.
You were in her yard 8 days out of 7, right? Right.
Don't accept the word flow.
Right.
Yeah, it's a
That's such a
trap.
period.
I-
Do not accept
it
the word
it
flow.
actually like annoys me, even when you see it in writing. Like, no, we're just going with the flow, and
Yeah.
like, it's a trap,
Right.
Because you know she ain't.
And they never
sometimes
want
you
to
ain't
go
either.
with the flow with the women that want to go with the flow,
flow,
because there are
exactly.
absolutely women out there who also do not want to be in anything like that,
no,
but they
but
never
that-
they're
choose
loose
each
though,
other.
innit?
And
Yeah.
also for that means then you've lost control.
Yes.
You've lost control if you're with someone that's actually matching your energy, the energy that you think you want.
No, you
I
can't
remember
do that.
saying that I've put it like, this is what this is. You cannot say it's not, because this is what it is.
Yeah.
And the person tried to go along with that. He tried to go along with that. He ended up fucking up. But that's what, because when we had a moment, I was like, you can no longer say that this is what we do. We are seeing each other.
Yeah.
We don't, boyfriend and girlfriend, we are not.
Yeah.
But seeing each other, we are.
Yeah.
And if you want to see me and continue to see me, you have to accept that we are seeing each other.
Yeah.
I'm not letting you get away with it's just a thing and it's
Oh, we're
not.
just talking.
Because we are seeing each other. We see each other. And that is it.
Yeah, we've thrown in way too many terms that have no business being anywhere.
Yeah, and it
Like,
gives too much-
what is a talking stage? What's a situationship? Like, you guys are
Yeah.
dating. You are.
Yeah.
You are.
It is.
And
Yeah.
but don't want to call it that, because again, it's the not wanting expectations, not wanting to be accountable in any regard.
Because I had a guy say to me that, because when we got to the end, when I'd literally said, we'd done about a year or so, and I said, in the beginning, the top of it is like, I don't really want to, but yet we're doing
All the bits.
all the bits.
Mm-hmm.
apart from going to dinner. So when I was like, what are we doing? Because actually I remember I woke up, I looked at him, he was sleeping, I was like, oh my God, he's so beautiful. And I said, no, it's too much. I'm in love. So I need to nip this, figure it out. So I said to him, what are we doing? Where are we going? The questions that they hate, that make women feel so bad. Ask those questions, women, don't be scared. And then he was like, yeah, but he said something, he goes, yeah, but I never took you out. And I said, we never went to dinner, sorry, because we went to cinema sometimes. And because my world was small, it's like my comfort, my joy is just us being in our bubble together at home. I don't need that. I don't need Nobu and da-da-da-da. I'm just cool in our bubble. His thing was like, yeah, but I never took you out. And I was like, and that's a humiliation ritual.
Yeah.
Because then I felt bad, like, shit. Yeah. We never went out, but I've accepted. I thought we were cool. I thought this was... And with that moment, I felt so low, so bad, so hurt, so heartbroken.
Sorry.
But also, but then also I'm someone that's always like, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And I didn't give it to him. I didn't say, you fucking cunt. How dare you? Because he'd already said from the top, well, I didn't want anything in the first place, but you took all the stuff.
And they would.
You allowed for the thing.
Yeah. Because it's always that get out clause, and there will be some people who do say, there was one guy I've since older man, because that's also important. Like some of these 50-something-year-olds are absolute idiots as well.
Whoa, talk about it.
I think that I actually, controversially, me that never ever dated younger ever before in my life, recently, I'll say in the last year, I've dated a younger person, and you just realise the difference.
Okay, what is the difference?
Wait. Finish your 56 story.
Okay.
And come back to because this was the other one that I forgot to add in to date.
So there were two over 50 that are useless, but one I didn't actually date him. But then the one that I dated briefly, I remember in the initial stages, he said he had something really important to tell me, right? I said, okay. And then he said, we were out to dinner and he said, so what I've been meaning to tell you is that there's a woman in America, in LA, that I've been talking to. She came over last Christmas. Nothing happened, but, I've been talking to her for about a year. And so I just needed to let you know that. And I was like, but why would you need to let me know if nothing's happening? If we were just talking, what does talking mean? Like, what is it? Oh no, we were just talking, nothing's happened.
So that's just your brethren. Why are you talking then? Why are you telling me then?
What are you telling me here? Like, what are you trying to tell me? And he couldn't articulate what it is. It's like, so have you promised her things? Is this like a long distance? What is this? And so it was just like, oh, well, yeah, I haven't figured out what's happening with her.
Here we go.
So I said, okay. Get out. Like, as in like, this isn't happening. This isn't happening. Go away. Because if you're confused at this age, your prostate is bulging.
You're about to be.
You see what he's doing,
need to be doing regular prostate checks and you've got time for this.
Yeah. Still wanted to play. So he wanted to tell you. So then you're aware there's this other woman that
he's still trying to
manage. And then he can play both of you. And then at one stage, he's going to come to one or both and be like, you know what the situation is? Compound is over here.
Right, Then move. You're not that cute to be trying to do such. You're not.
So we had the conversation and Marvin did say, this is why I will bring Marvin's points into it. You women over 40 need to be dating 30-year-olds.
You do.
But he also said that we must be thinking about 5-10 years rather than long-term forever.
Which is also fair.
I don't need you to... Look,
it's going crazy in our comments, though. People are like, this is the worst take ever.
No, I mean, I say that with a pinch of salt. I'm not really saying 5 years, but why can't you renew? Right? Why can't you instead of thinking of forever... as Jasmine Sullivan said, forever don't last. But no, for some people it does. But I think you take the pressure off yourself when you're not thinking forever, when you're just thinking, I want to see what this is saying for a good few years. Like I want to experience you for whatever stage this is. And I think when you have, for me anyway, like a knowledge of astrology, you understand transits, right? And there are some dynamics that can withstand so many transits of the planet, and there are some that cannot, right? So while it feels scary, you don't know who you're going to be in 10 years. The you in 10 years might not want this dynamic. So why are you already in your feelings about staying in that dynamic? Before you even got there. Me at 23 want something so different to now at 38.
Okay. Sure. And I was like, open. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Open to it. However, what if you like to be with someone and you're not about renewing? You're actually, because we are still under people are married for years and years.
Yeah.
And still with the person.
But as I said, I absolutely lucked out. I mean, there's a few of us in our friendship circle.
Yeah, and I know,
but I
people
feel
have been
like
married
it's the circle
Yeah.
as well. Like, I have other marrieds. You go through shit. You have cancelled. Like, it's just we lucked out, and we were young enough to go through the tides. It's not easy, and I wouldn't say everybody has the temperament to do it.
And some people are just, it's meant that way.
So then, okay. So
I'm not saying that your person isn't there that you can have forever with.
It's not about me, and it's not just about me. I'm just because there are lots of people in the comments.
And so it's to them as well. Like, it's not that you don't have your people to have your forever with. Your forever person is probably out there as well, and it could be the person that you're with. But just allow life to surprise you. And this is, I'm not saying it from a holier than thou place. This is also what I'm having to remind myself of all the time. Like, I'm very intense. Like, I'm all or nothing, right? And I'm even having to learn that, hey, just see just not go with the flow, but let this be something. And I think that when you kind of take the pressure off yourself in that way, you can let things go much more easily. You're not fighting for it because you don't think it's forever.
That's the part. Okay, that is, and that's what I took from what Marvin was saying. But it's a very scary thought to think that, especially when you're getting older, this is where it feeds into getting someone younger and then maybe nurturing a young man into his sensibleness, and then he goes off and
but even that dynamic, you're not even necessarily nurturing him. But those ones that we're saying around the 30-year-old mark, they are nurturing you. Like, they have been raised by different people, by a different generation of people. So these ones, they're coming with energy. Like, they're probably doing something for you. Like, they're probably seeing things in a more equitable way than men our age or older. Like, they don't think quite the same way. And I'm not glorifying them, because obviously there are the red pillars. Like, they're the ones who are absolutely lost in the, those incel places. But generally speaking, they are willing to learn. I think that's what it is. It's not about nurturing them or whatever. They are just willing to learn.
So they don't have fixed ideals from an ancient past.
Which is what the older
I get it.
Because neither of the two younger guys that I've spoken to wanted to be discarded of, but they just needed to be, right? Like, they would have very happily been like, okay. Like, I remember one literally saying to me, I didn't know that upset you. If I'd known, I would have changed it. I would do whatever I need to do so you don't feel upset.
Aww. So then because I've had, not much, but when, age ain't nothing but a number, and I'm like, no, absolutely it is. Now you just go away and learn your books. Women now need to be like, okay, so how does an older woman discern which young boy is the one to kind of take for? Because there are stupid boys.
Talk. Like, why are we so scared of talking?
It's not just. It's like you've got to understand.
Like, no, just talk to them. Like, you'll know if they've got sense or not. Like, you just have to talk to them. And there are certain things that they just genuinely don't understand. But then there are things that, like, they understand better than we do, and they are genuinely there because they're like, I want to learn. Like, this is, and I go so woo-woo, but I understand why it's happening with their generation. There's a particular generation of men who are within the very, very late 20s to mid 30s, right? Because of a transit that they have, like a generational transit that they have, right? They are attracted to older women.
Okay.
Yeah. They are attracted to older women. So so I find it really funny on socials now that I'm seeing those exact age group only going for older women.
But then if you think of the age, because this is the whole thing, it's like we know so many 40s to 50s that are single. That's your match then, isn't it? Yeah. Because the older ones, and this is like what you said sounds like so many other people I know of who were thought, let me go to 50.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to try and get another 40-year-old because they're on shit.
Yeah.
Let me go up. they are shit
terrible because again they're
they
of a
came from the
different
wicked
generation.
trauma.
Like,
And
they
you
were watching
understand
black
why
and white
their
TV,
wife
like, they are
divorced them.
struggling.
Yeah.
So I think, and then, but then because I
And
think
some of them have never even been married. Those are the ones that
and
scare
still
me.
out here like
Still
they're
out here.
30.
Never had kids,
Still out here.
but you still out there thinking that you're a playboy.
Yeah.
But then
In a flat.
I think the fear for women, my sisterhood, is also that thing of being left on the shelf for the younger model. Because and then there's also the negative connotations that come with men seeking for younger women, because it's like you just want to manipulate them. But is it also the flip side? Is it that older men, those 50, 60-year-old men or 40-year-old men who can't see it for a woman of their age group, looking for young women? Is that also their match? Is that younger woman also their
No,
match?
they're not. They're dealing with something different, and it's not always.
Is it, but why not? Because that's not the same
It's not the
generation.
same. No,
Okay, yeah, just
it's not.
explain
It's
that.
not the same for the fact that these. It's not. It doesn't quite work the same way. But for those ones, they're looking for young women because that's what they've been told.
Right.
You know, capitalism has said to them, "You get a younger model. That's what you deserve." Like they've been indoctrinated in a different way
Right.
than these guys haven't. Even when Andrew Tate is trying to do it to them, and he's saying, "No, a woman over 30 is expired meat, and she's no good," and whatever. They're even seeing through that.
Yeah.
Like they might see the content and they're still like, "No, I still want an older woman."
Yeah.
Actually, but what I'm finding is that the girls of that generation, they absolutely cuss the older guys. I see online all the time. They're like, "Why are you talking to me? I'm 25." Like they run them, like they are shaming them, and that's what they need as well, so they can
So
get
where do
themselves
they
together.
go? So what do they need to do? Because who's their partner?
But who's loving them?
Right, and this is what I'm trying to see play out, because we don't have the answers for everything, right? Because their guys, their boys are wanting older women. They don't want the women don't want the older guys, because they're just like, you lot are
disgusting.
idiots.
Yeah.
You're nasty. Because remember that they are more conscious of gender dynamics and feminism.
Yeah.
So they are very aware of what these ones would want to do to them, and they're not buying it.
Right.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, they feel weirdly very mature for the men their age. Meanwhile, the men their age actually want
A mature woman.
a mature woman.
That's so.
So then what do the women who are 25 and who are they looking
That's
to?
what I don't know what they're going to do.
My daughter's actually said that dynamic is wild for that. She's 25. She's wild out there.
See?
And we're going to try and not use those words all the time. But she said it's a bit nuts out there because the boys her age they want to be chased. They want to be chased. They don't know what they want.
They want to be cared for.
They want to be cared for.
And then the
But
and
then
then,
they're also-
and then the women and then your daughters say to you, like, "I'm not caring for you. I've seen what them lot had to do. I'm not doing that." So then the women that were doing that were like, "I'll do it. Come over here."
I see how.
But then now you're going to have a generation of possibly single.
The
20
single,
Yes.
younger.
And
Just-
so then
so when
we
are we
now
gonna
have to
fucking
see-
align?
But we're going to see what happens with them and what they want to do. But I do feel like there's something happening with all these guys who are getting divorced, who are like late 30s, right? Who are getting divorced now, going through whatever they're going through. I think that that's where they match up, because they're having to see the error in their ways.
Okay.
And then they think, oh, well, I'm going to get with
I
this
could try
woman.
again with a
It was
fresh-
So my
with a
daughter's
fresh- and meanwhile,
25.
they're coming to flog them because they're going to
Okay.
say, whatever she left you for, I'm going to teach you why you should have done better.
Okay.
Things that they didn't want to learn from the woman that they were with, because she chats too much and da-da-da-da. They're now going to learn it from this one because she's younger and they want to impress her.
Yeah.
So they're going to listen.
So then
So
they'll
we
get
solved
back
the-
to
we
it.
solved
Because
puzzle,
that's the
the
beautiful,
matrix.
I guess, right in real time, that's the beauty of life. It always balances itself out. There's a lid for every pot.
I guess if you go searching
Yes.
and being open.
But the thing about these young guys, I think that they make it known, like they will find you. Like,
But you get checked. Like you don't want
Can
them.
you stop?
You
this?
do get checked.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
Tell me, when was it like when? When?
Saturday.
Who did I get checked by? But yeah, that's we've discussed.
See, but you
no,
always do this.
no.
Yeah, but
We've heard the story. We've
Yeah.
literally just sat here.
But you still get. So, as I always say, you still can ride the wave of that frequency to be like, I get checked.
No, because when you because I said that to you, like no matter what, I said to you also, no matter what, I always meet someone.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I don't meet someone, usually one, but it's the how you say it's like you're just turning them all down left, right, and center. No, it's not like that at all.
But it can be.
When?
Because it's what you're saying. right? You say, because one thing you know for certain is that I always get someone, right? You said that with certainty.
Yeah.
And so that means that it will happen that you always get someone. But the thing that you didn't want to say is that, oh, that they're coming at me. Well, it's not my reality. Well, it's because you said that it's not.
It's very hard not to say it's your reality when if we're having conversations like, well, yeah, I actually don't get choked.
No, because then it will just also be what you admit when you're out.
Okay.
Right? And I'm saying that to you as somebody that knows that I do that. The moment I just started being a bit more kind of like, whatever, people aren't scared of me, they stop being so scared. We're going to go on a girls' night.
I'm side-eyeing her because she's
Girls' night
smugging. She's smugging and I hate it.
I can't help it. I've said this to you too many times.
No, you didn't say it like that, actually.
Sometimes this is how it goes, isn't it?
All right, quick fire.
I'll take it if you hear it.
I hear it. Quick fire, we got to go home. Why are there so many single black women over 40? We have ticked that box.
Yes.
Where are the men? We have ticked that box. We've answered that. It's a bit serious. How do we stop, I don't know if you have an opinion, how do we stop girls being attracted to boys who are on road? Because there is a lot of girls that are like, I want a bad man. Is that bad man?
It's glorified in music, right? Music and entertainment, music, entertainment, that sort of thing. You look at the rappers, the musicians that are out these days and what they're singing about.
So we did blame. Did we sound older?
No, I'm not. It's because music is informing culture, right? The musicians are getting the brand deals. So even the clothing that you want to wear, they're the ones getting the brand deals and stuff. And they're dictating what's cool to wear and what's cool and what's not. So whether you like it or not, that becomes embedded. So it goes beyond the music. It's in everything. It's enmeshed in everything. So it has to not be glorified. We have to actually start commissioning TV shows that go beyond showing boys, men, as one-dimensional, violent, stoic beings. Give us more dimensions to them. Because the thing is, our brains are malleable. If you give us something to love, we will love it.
Yeah. Exactly I like that.
Absolutely.
And also because they don't know their emotions.
Yeah.
That kind of racy, like, fear, you think that's attractive.
You think that's attractive.
And it absolutely isn't.
Fear.
Definitely.
It's not a thing.
You should be scared. Can I just say, can girls stop wearing short skirts that are frilly showing their bums? I absolutely hate those skirts. I hate it. I know I'm being an auntie. I cannot.
Well, as aunties, we're allowed to say it.
Please.
We're allowed to say it.
It's too much.
But some of the things I do see, and I wear some things, but some of the things I see other people, I'm like,
We saw a lot of bums when we were out the other day. And it was like, why? But I also have been like, okay, it's in fashion.
It's in fashion, and there are some, like, it's them pleated skirts.
Yeah,
but then
that's the one.
But the
pleated
whole crack is out.
and then you just got the bum cleft that comes up. And I'm like, while I think that this is so cute, like on a fashion perspective, from a women's perspective, like, yes, I also understand how that translates to men. And I think that even the idea of the pleated skirts, the extreme mini, things like that, it's also feeding into paedophile culture.
Yes, and it's that.
Because they look like short school skirts.
Yeah.
And it just feels really weird.
And we think about who's dictating the fashion industry and what they're...
And what they're all up to. And it's like, guys, please, like, this is not...
But I do think it's okay. I think it's so difficult. Because I remember there was a time when, well, there's always a time, my daughter's trying to find clothes. And it's like, there's nothing but this. And she didn't struggle with the short skirt. She's got a few short skirts, but she's not doing the bum thing. But then, like, when the fashion trend is in, you can't go anywhere. And then if you too outside the box, unless you've got your own quirky style, if you're too far off, like, well, I'm not wearing that, I'm going to do this, then you just feel ostracized. So sometimes I'm sure the girls wearing it, like, I hate it.
There's what other choice do I have? And I know the girls that now wear tights and socks, chunky socks or leg warmers to try and offset it, because that's just what's about. But I find it as a woman, like, every other outfit is all cut up now. I don't want to show my belly. Can I just have an outfit? Dress. Yeah, dress. not club wear. Like, I mean, and I love skinning out, but there are some things I'm like, can I just have a full material?
Yeah. It's true, because a lot of stuff is club wear. Like, what the hell?
What is that? Like,
yeah.
It's like they're just skimping on materials. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with fashion.
Yes. So that's that. I don't know what else. Have you got any fun things to think about? Men who hold on to their hair, how do we feel about it?
Hold on to their hair, how?
When
they're balding, they should just go Turkey and go and get hair transplant.
You think we should do that? I don't want my man to do that.
Why?
Don't do... Well, okay, if you want to, go ahead. But just let it go.
I do love a bald guy. There's a bald guy that I fancy at the moment, but I'm not meant to fancy him.
Why? Yikes. No.
I cannot say anything else, but
Okay. Does he fancy you back?
I don't know.
Not allowed to know.
Oh, is he a crush that you don't want to know if he likes you, or do you want him to know that you like him?
I kind of want him to know, but I'm not going to tell him.
Fine.
Oh.
You lot will figure it out.
Yeah, well, I pray so.
Some advice to women for themselves.
No, I do want to know.
Whoa,
Yes.
whoa.
Gemini moon, what does that mean?
Oh, I love a Gemini moon. So Gemini moon, there's actually a person I know right now with a Gemini moon. Gemini moons, the way you keep them interested is by always making them laugh. Like you have to.
Are you a Gemini moon?
I'm a Gemini moon.
Yeah.
Am I
Like,
Scorpio moon?
I don't know. I can't remember your chart. We have to look it up. We'll look it up. Look it up.
You
Go
can
on
look it up now.
astro-charts.com
Let me
on
find
your
out. Go on,
tab.
finish with that.
Yeah, Gemini moons. People try and give them a bad rap, right? Because they're just like, oh, the next good thing, you know, the next funniest person, the next person that can make them laugh, the next this, they're off, like they'll go, right? But it's not necessarily true. The Gemini moons just like funny people. They like witty people. They like people who make their intellect spark. Gemini, because we see it usually as the third house. The third house rules siblings, rules short distance journeys, it rules publishing, broadcasting. So one might say that a Gemini moon, they will be attracted to somebody that feels like a sibling, not in an incestuous way, but it's just like you're my homie, like you're my friend, you know, that sort of energy. That's that's the kind of person that they'll be attracted to, and it'll be somebody that they share something in culture with as well, that they'll usually go for. That's where they feel safer with.
I just lucked out.
I'm a Leo.
Because who would have known?
You're a Leo moon.
Are you?
Whoa. That makes sense.
Oh, why?
Did you get everything in?
Yeah, I know everything.
Yeah, good.
Leo moon.
Oh, what's a Leo moon?
And it's tracks actually, because does it say there? Can I see the chart, please? Let's see. So Leo moon, I want to see the circle. Everything in.
That's my mother.
You know, we can't have Kelechi here without
doing
a little
touching.
summer,
Yeah, got to.
So your moon sign is Leo, but I wanted to see some other things. So we're so similar. That's interesting. All right, so let's go into it quickly. So Leo moon, part of the issue that you're finding, because I was trying to see what is opposing it. So if you had anything in Aquarius, but we don't really have anything in Aquarius, but there could be squares that are hitting it. So Leo moon, you need to be acknowledged for the things that you do for people. Like the reason that you will fall out with people is if they take the things that you do for granted, right? Like if you're always doing and they never go, oh, thank you for doing that. Well done for doing that. You need to be praised. It's not in a arrogant way. It's literally what feels, because the moon represents our safety, our mental health, where the moon represents home, hence mother. It represents home, right? So it's what we need to feel safe and to feel at home. And for you, you need people to remind you that they appreciate you. And when they don't, you start to lose it. You're loyal to a fault because the Leo moon is a fixed moon, like what it stays, right? So even if, for instance, you break up with someone, there'll be a part of you that always loves that person. You never really move on. It's kind of like a Scorpio moon. You never really move on. But ultimately, the way that you'll know that you're in a healthy dynamic is if you're a bit embarrassed by how much somebody tells you how much they appreciate you. So I love that.
Love you.
Love you both.
Love you. We have to do a girls' night out and just pull.
Yes,
Get
We
the
do. We
pool.
need to put this event together.
Yes.
Of our debate night with
Let's-
the.
you know
with
what?
the-
Don't
with
mess
the
about,
DJ.
girl. We'll do it.
Yeah,
No, that's
we'll do
gotta
DJ
happen.
and
That's
Give me
gotta
the next
happen.
Aunties live.
Yeah, that's going to say it should be like the next live. Like
Yeah.
it's a debate and then it's a
yes.
DJ and
News and nonsense.
Yes. And you haven't done a live in a little while
No.
as well.
Let's spell it low, for real.
yeah.
Well, I'll get a
we'll
Zoom
do that.
together.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
let's
we've
make
got
this
to let
happen.
Emma go home because look at her little
Sorry,
cute
just like, guys,
little
wrap it up.
face.
Cut the show.
You literally have been at the auntie's house. My aunties won't stop talking. I just want to go to bed. I'm on the coats trying to sleep. We are done. That has been Your Aunties Could Never. Keep safe and enemy free. Lots of love and big hugs from your favourite aunties.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
One more thing. The book. Remind everybody because they have to get it.
Oh, Awakened is out now. All the bookstores. If you want to listen to my voice, I'm the narrator on the audiobook. It's across Spotify, Audible, all of the places. It's there. Like I said, the publishers were at my neck that I haven't sold enough copies. So please
Buy some.
help me. Buy some. Yeah. But genuinely, I hope you enjoy the story.
And tarot reading, you can come and find.
Oh, tarot reading, yeah, it's on my website, KelechiOkafor.com. If you or you could buy one if you haven't got the piece to have a one-to-one reading or an in-person reading with me. You could just buy one question for £22. Ask one specific question, and I send you a voice note back with your answer within 7 days.
And then your book about astrology and life will come.
Oh, I feel like they're wanting me to do something like that.
It's not a joke anymore.
No, you have so much knowledge.
You have to.
Thank you.
Let's make this. Yes, I will put all of your details in there.
Thank you.
Yes. People are going to support.
Thank you.
They have to. By force. The Leo has spoken. Scorpio. All right. Good night.
Night.
For real.